the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X gaming show. Tune in wherever thoughts flow. Rant and rave with words that glow. Weekly stories make them go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is Sgt Mclusky. What's going on, bro?
Sup? What's going on?
We got lots of different topics today to talk about. We're not going to do what we've been playing because we've been playing basically the exact same things that we've been playing for the last couple of weeks. And, you know, lots of stories came out this week, so we're going to go through those. Another week down. Sarge, what have you been up to this last week? Anything exciting? Anything
Exciting? No. I haven't been in like a holding pattern because it's Mother's Day week. I got to get some things done. But otherwise than that, not much.
I mean, I've been full with excitement. We got AC guys, electrician guys, inspectors. I got my house flooding right now. We got thunderstorms. Yeah, I'm Tom Hanks. I'm Tom Hanks in the money pit. He's in the ground. He's making paper airplanes with his wallet, and he's just throwing stuff. I'm behind the seat. That's, you know what? I might watch that this weekend just to make myself feel better. Yeah,
it's a great movie.
Oh, fantastic movie.
That's before Tom Hanks lost his mind.
Turkey's done. Turkey's done.
So's the kitchen.
Yeah. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Grand Theft Auto 6. That's right. It's real. It's happening. They showed a trailer and it's breaking the internet. Right? Half a billion people.
That's what it's doing. It's breaking my balls.
Yeah, no, it really is. I think it's half a billion views. Half a billion views so far.
Well, sure. I mean, what do you expect?
People are gonna buy this. We're going to talk about Diablo 4. Changing up the battle pass, and they're also charging $150 for skins. We're going to talk about Helldivers 2. CEO says you'll shit your pants over what's coming down the pipe.
Is that on paper? Does that say that? He says you're going to shit your pants. He says
100%. Why would I make that up? Where is it?
Wrong.
Right here.
People.
Helldivers 2 CEO says you'll shit your pants over what's coming down the pipe. I already read what's on the article, Sarge. I don't make shit up.
I thought maybe you were embellishing because Helldivers 2 is a decent game, but
you're
not
gonna
shit your pants worthy.
You're gonna shit your pants. Okay, shit your pants. That's a quote. Let me tell you something. Someone's gonna sue if they don't shit them. If they don't shit themselves when the Helldivers comes out, they're gonna be like, "I'm suing Sony because they told me I was gonna shit myself and I didn't."
Hey, you know what? I'm bored. Let me look up, see how if Helldivers is on sale. Maybe I'll buy it and I'll play a little bit of it. Because
okay.
I've been watching the Space Marine 2. I guess you guys told me it's just PC, it's not console, but they're like playing 12
the mod. Yeah, the mod is for
that's a mod?
PC.
I thought
yes, to play with all those people. No, you only play with 3 people on the Space Marines.
Oh, I thought that was the end game stuff.
No, that's people that like the game so much they modded it, and so they made 10 people in the game.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's why it's modded, not by the corporation.
No, I get it, but I thought that was the end game thing. I thought it was 3-player, 3-player story in the game, and then at the end, other people will have it. You guys can join in, type of thing. I thought that's what it was. I didn't know it was a mod.
Nope.
Awesome.
We're going to talk about the Arc Raiders Alpha gained players nearly every single day, while Marathon lost players every single day. Coincidence?
It's not out yet. It doesn't.
I don't know. Yeah, but it's for the tech tests. For the alpha tests.
If it's a tech test, then it's just people who just want to devote their time to help you out.
No, but Marathon day by day went like this, and Arc Raiders went up like this. That's because people had fun in Arc Raiders. People didn't have fun in Marathon. That's how it works. We're talking about Gears of War Reloaded coming to Xbox Series X, S, PC, Cloud, PlayStation. and Steam in the summer of 2025. We're going to talk about Epic Games Store completely eliminates the revenue fees for smaller developers.
That's cool.
We're going to talk about Overwatch 2 director teases big future plans for the game. He didn't come out and say you're going to shit your pants like the Helldivers guy did, but you're going to get excited for Overwatch. That's what he's saying. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about Marvel Rivals player count hits a new low. Or, as we always say, that's just normal. Okay? We're going to talk about the 4 million rounds of Arc Raiders that the toughest boss has only been killed 58 times. So 44 million matches, 58 kills. That's it for this boss.
So that's under 1%. That's normal.
Yes, that's normal.
The creme de la creme of the people are going to find out how to do shit. That's how it works.
Then we're going to talk about the developers or the CEO from Larian Studios, the guy who's the only based person in the industry at this point. Okay, he came out and said developers should give fans a license to make mods rather than shutting them down. All right, and it makes sense, right? It makes sense.
How dare you? How dare you?
Oblivion Remaster, we'll talk about the sales for that, Expedition 33 sales for that, and Split Fiction. And then we'll talk about Battlefield 6 a little bit, and we'll end it off with Black Ops not doing so well. It's the lowest player count in years, and it's on Game Pass, so we'll talk about that as well.
They already got the money for it, so nobody cares.
We'll talk about that when we get there.
These two things can be true. Most selling COD game of all time.
Yep.
Congratulations. Nobody wants to play your fucking game anymore. Nobody cares.
Right, nobody cares because they either paid for it or they... Actually, let's talk about that first. Let's talk about this first, right? So let's talk about this first, right?
They want COD so badly to be Fortnite that they talk about it all the fucking time. You sold a game. Everyone wanted to play your game. Congratulations. You're done now. We're moving on to the next game.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a single player game that you paid for, a multiplayer game that you paid for. If I paid full price for this, 60, 70, 80, 100, 120, whatever it is, you bought that game, now you're playing that game, and you might have played it for 3 hours, or you might have played it for 300 hours, right? They got your money, and then they're just trying to get more money out of you with the cosmetics and battle passes and whatever, right? But it says not even Xbox Game Pass could save Black Ops 6 from the massive player count drop. But why would it, though? It doesn't matter if they did or not. Because
why would it? You already have it. You don't want to play it. You want to play something else.
There's so many games to play. So many, right? Microsoft Nadella said that Black Ops 6 was the biggest Call of Duty launch ever, as it sets records for day one players as well as Game Pass subscribers, adds on launch day. It wasn't just because of this was the first COD game launch on day one for Game Pass, though, as unit sales of PlayStation were also up over 60% year over year.
There you go. Okay? There you go. You made all kinds of money.
Black Ops 6 went on to hold on to the top spot for best-selling game in the United States for 4 straight months.
Congratulations.
Before being overtaken by Monster Hunter Wilds in February. It's saying that in early sales, success didn't translate to long-term retention. But does it matter?
Long-term retention of what, bro?
Yep.
What do you want me to do in your game?
It makes no sense to me, okay, that they're like, oh, the long-term retention is not up there. But they already paid for it. They already paid for Game Pass for the month or 2 months or 3 months or whatever it is.
COD comes out every fucking year, right?
Every year, like Madden.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about by retention? Right? You're out next year. What? As a matter of fact, you're about to come out again.
5 months, right? 5 months, you're out again.
Nobody cares. I don't understand. How do you want it both ways? You want to be the number one game. You want to sell the most games. You want people to play your game the longest. Like, do you not know how many fucking games there are in the market? What the fuck are we talking about?
Just on Steam last year was 19,000, right? 19,000. They're on pace this year for 15,000.
They talk like there's 3 studios working on games and nobody else is playing anything, right? We're so disappointed. Nobody's still playing our game. They will be in 5 months. Shut the fuck up. Other people got games to make.
Right, but with stuff like this, right, It says Black Ops 6 sees its lowest player count in years. It says, according to the game business, Call of Duty players count for March of 2025 was 20.6 million. In comparison to 22.4 million in March of 2023 and 20.8 million in March of 2024. Now, look at the difference. 20.8 million to 20.6 million, and it's like the world's coming to an end.
World's end.
It's point.
The
It's
player drops
200,000.
incredible.
It's 200,000 less, and they're like, it's like that meme with Leslie Nielsen. It's just like, everyone calm down with the building burning in the background. It's like, there's nothing to see. Like, it's 200,000 players, right? But someone will move the goalpost, Sarge. Someone will move the goalpost and say, well, Game Pass is hurting sales, right? But yet, meanwhile, Game Pass, if you pay $20 or 12, whatever you're on, if you're on PC or if you're on Game Pass on console,
paid them to be on Game Pass. They didn't lose sales.
Well, no, they didn't. Well, they own them, right? So I don't think they're paying them to be on there. They're just part of the company.
Yeah, they don't lose sales.
Yeah, they don't lose sales, right?
You still paid your employees, right?
Yeah, they're still getting a check.
I don't understand the mentality of consumers in the gaming industry anymore. Like, I think most of the kids that understand who play video games, their brain is melted. Like, they don't understand the flow chart of money. They believe that your money directly supports the devs. That's why you should buy it. The publishers and the investors gave them money to make a video game, or they took out a loan. They got the loan and the money. They make the game, and now they sell it. The publisher paid them every week for making a game. They weren't waiting for your $60, bro, so they could pay a guy to work. That's not how it works.
See, I don't think Microsoft is complaining about this. I think Ryan here from Insider Gaming is saying, it's not successful.
What's his name, Ryan? Ryan what?
Ryan LeMay. Okay, I think he's complaining.
Different Ryan. Hang on. Right. I gotta put it down.
This is not including
another moron.
This is not including that what's it called? That microtransactions, the $80 monkey gloves they sell, the Cheech and Chong or the Jay and Silent Bob or the Nicki Minaj or anything else, right? This is just the numbers of Call of Duty, and everyone's like, it's the lowest it's been in years. Let's pick the 2 years that are close to.
All the stories you could be talking about gaming, and this is his choice. A 200,000
drop off.
200,000 drop off on a game that sells double-digit games every year.
Right, and the funny part is it doesn't bring up anything about, well, there's way more games to play now. Way more games to play. When Call of Duty was making like 40 million or 35 million, 40 million sales a year, right? There was like 800 games that released, right? It was one of 800. Now it's one of 15,000 just last year. And the landscape of gaming has completely changed with free-to-play, live service games, multiple multiplayer games, multiple games for competitive games. It's not just Call of Duty Battlefield anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's not just two games that battled it out every single year for the first like 10 years of their existence. Now it's, here we are 15, 20 years into the cycle, and there's hundreds, if not thousands of the same types of games out there, right? We talk about this even for, for the extraction shooters that are coming out. The extraction shooters that are coming out, Arc, Marathon, Hunt Showdown's already out, but there's 15 games, 10 of them are coming out within the next 12 months, okay? Do you think all 10 extraction shooters from across the board are all going to be making it? No. Maybe one. Maybe two will add themselves to Hunt Showdown and to, what's the other one? Tarkov. Okay, maybe one of Marathon and Arc Raider. Everything else is just going to go to the wayside. Very small player base will play these things. It'll be like the Vigors of the world, right? It might be like I forget what the EA extraction was, right? But all these game modes just compete with each other. Speaking of Arc Raiders, Sarge, I want to give you some numbers here. Some numbers here of Arc Raiders.
Arc Raiders numbers real, or are you just making up numbers to make the conversation?
I never make up numbers. I bring up. So in 4 million rounds of Arc Raiders, the toughest boss has only been killed 58 times. I think when this was written on the 4th, we're on We're on the 9th now, 8th today.
Is the game out or just the
no?
testing
It was
of the game out?
It was just the beta, alpha test, whatever it was.
So the toughest boss of the test.
The toughest boss in the game of the test, yeah.
The test.
We don't know what's in the actual game at release. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So Arc Raiders is undergoing a closed test right now, and all the feedback points to being one heck of an extraction shooter. It's actually Marathon's numbers trenched down. Arc's numbers went up. Okay. Each and every single day that Arc was out for testing, they released out more codes for people. So if you got into the test, they gave 2 codes to each person that was playing, and then they would share it to their friends, and then those people would come in, and then so on and so forth. So more people came in and tried it out, right? A lot of good feedback was happening with Arc Raiders. I'll be honest, Sarge, I was trying to get in just to play it because it reminded me of Division so much. I don't care so much about the PvP, okay? I'm not a big extraction guy. I don't really like extractions, but people were saying that they didn't even some people weren't even getting touched by PvP. They were just exploring and staying in the PvE type of thing, and that intrigued me a little bit. And then you can go up against the bosses and whatnot. And the reason a lot of people didn't kill the boss is because other people were killing them while they were trying to kill the boss. Okay. It says earlier today, Embark Studios posted an infographic on social media revealing some of the key stats from the testing phase thus far instance, and confirmed that 1.7 million hours of gameplay have been logged. It was also pointed out that 4 million rounds of the game's toughest boss has only been beaten 58 times. Okay. It says, now that's a challenge. The post on social media confirmed that 4 million rounds of Arc Raiders, the Queen, has only been killed 58 times. That means that's been defeated just 0.0014 percent of the matches played thus far. The team also revealed that the Queen has effortlessly slaughtered more than 17,000 Raiders in clashes across the game. It's in the case that you can't, if you haven't seen the Queen in Arc Raiders, here's a video, right? So let's watch this, Sarge. Let's see what this is all about here.
I mean, it just reminds me of Division. That's why people.
Yeah,
like
it does. But these are ex Battlefield developers at Embark. They made the finals.
I get it.
And they also made this.
Well, they made this probably because they were bored out of their fucking mind trying to make Battlefield for the 14th time in a row. So they wanted to do something else.
Yeah,
see what happens.
Hold on. This is
what happens when you leave people alone to do what they love to do. They actually make something cool. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. So you can see the big ass boss. This also reminds me a little bit of Defiance.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course it does.
This is what piqued my interest about Arc Raiders years ago when they first showed it all competing against that big boss in the middle, and there was a whole bunch of people running towards the center. And I even said that when we saw it back then. I was like, this reminds me of Defiance, right? I'm not interested in this extraction shooter as an extraction shooter. You put PvE in this game, man, and I'm all over this thing. This would be my new Division. I would be in this thing inside and out every single day. I'd be running this, trying to explore and find through the map. But because it's extraction, I have no urge whatsoever.
I mean, listen, I played the crap out of Division 2. I like games based in reality a little bit more than the crazy wackadoo stuff. But at the same time, this just shows you where people's loves lie, right? Because they're really into this. So that's saying to people like, where is Division 3? Why don't you do something else with Division? Like we this is what we like. Why don't you do this? And the rest of the industry's like, all right, we got some of the stuff we got to make. Like, but this is what people like. You can see it, right? I don't jump anymore. Like the reason why I don't get excited about those things anymore is because, to me, when you base it in reality, there's nowhere to go. Like, you base it on everything that we know in the real world, rocket launchers and machine guns. Yeah, they're cool, but like, there's no wow, right? I like more sci-fi stuff or crazy things, or like you mix a couple of genres together so it keeps you like busy. Like, why does this guy have a chainsaw for a hand, and why does that guy have lasers for eyes? Like that kind of shit. Like I want to be wowed a little bit, not like, oh, we're exploring Earth and we're gonna go find some guns. Yeah, it's great. Like, it looks amazing, right? The gameplay is phenomenal. I'm sure it's everything, but at the same time, I'll be done in a month and then I'll find something else. That's basically what it is.
Right. Chat's saying that Defiance is back out. That's right. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago that they re-released
for the third time.
For the third time. Yeah, this is the third time of Defiance. Is that just on PC, guys, or is that on console as well? Is it just on PC? So there's that for Arc Raiders, and let's see what else we got here.
See, here's how you wow me a little bit in the reality method, right? I don't think firing your fucking AK-47 at a giant octopus crab machine should do any damage to it at all. If anything at all, you should be able to get close to it, and maybe you find a weak spot between the joints, and your machine gun weakens it so it can't turn as well, like that kind of thing. But you have to find like rocket launchers hiding around, and that's what does the damage.
Well, maybe that's what you have to do.
Not this constant. I'm firing a gun at something to try to kill it. I think that's absurd. It's absurd. Yeah.
Maybe that's what you have to do. All right, let's go to Diablo. Okay, Diablo has.
Is it gonna make me shit my pants?
No, that's Helldivers. Diablo will just make you shit yourself because you're just pissed at it, right? As Diablo 4 launches Season 8, Blizzard responds to roadmap criticism, reveals that plans to update the skill tree, and explains controversial Battle Pass changes. Okay, so let's take a look at this roadmap here, Sarge.
You know how I feel about roadmaps.
Yeah, we love them here. We love roadmaps here, right? January to April, okay, Witchcraft Powers Quest Reputation Board, right? Then in April to July, you have the Boss Powers Quest Reputation Board, new collab, IP collab, 2-year anniversary. God damn, it's been 2 years already. I remember leading up to like 2 years before Diablo came out, and here we are 2 years after.
2-year anniversary, but not when it was finally done. So it's not 2 year anniversary.
Right? No, it was
until like another 2 years.
It's only been 6 months since it's been done.
Yeah,
and even then, it's not even done.
Yeah.
Right? You get a new layer boss, quality of life. You get season journey update. Then in July through September, you get the sins of what is that? Horadrim.
Yep, Horadrim.
Horadrim. You get dungeon escalation, earnable pet, new nightmare dungeon activities. Chat, do you still reset every 6 weeks? Do you still reset every 6 weeks or whatever the hell it is?
Yeah, that's true. Do you guys reset? I want to know who's playing this. Do you reset?
I think you do because that's Diablo. Like, how does that work with the story content, right? Or is this just stuff that happens, right? Because I know they had a new expansion, and then they're coming out with another expansion now in 2026. A new expansion, new ranking system, and leaderboards. Okay, more to come. Waiting year after year after year after year. But here's the real story, Sarge, for Diablo. Okay, Diablo 4's new Berserker crossover cosmetic items cost around $150 to unlock them all.
That's awesome.
Okay, the cost of the entire Berserker set will run players 16,500 platinum, though they will also have to purchase 18,500 or $150. Now, the update has sparked outrage and backlash due to the high cosmetic prices. Players aren't exactly thrilled with the price of Diablo 4's new Berserker-related items, which dropped this week. When added up, players will also have to fork out $150. Now, this is what I've never understood, Sarge. Like, I like DLC. I'll pay for DLC.
I like how the update has sparked outrage and backlash. Like, that means anything. Like, outrage and backlash means zero. You know what really means something? When the next guy comes up and says, "Hey, nobody's playing Diablo 4 anymore. We got problems." Like, if you feel outraged and you want backlash, stop playing. Stop playing completely.
Well, yeah,
don't delete it from your hard drive because what they'll say is, "We got 3 million players," because it's on your hard drive. They call you player because you got it on your hard drive. Erase the shit from your hard drive and don't play it. And then we'll see what happens.
Eclipse says, yeah, you can do this season stuff in Legacy now, so you don't have to start a new character. Oh, so are you telling me, Eclipse, when did they do this where you could stay in seasons, like your Legacy character, where you don't have to make a new character every season? When did they throw that into the mix? Was that a couple updates ago? Has that been around since the year one? Because I beat the campaign. I got 160 hours in the game, and then I stopped. Right? Has that been around for a while? Because I haven't touched it since it came out. All right, so it says here, limited time updates and events are nothing new with Diablo 4, with the hack and slash game taking a seasonal approach to new content over the last year or so. Players have witnessed Diablo 4 change in big ways, with all kinds of new enemies, missions, quests, rewards being added to the game.
Stuff that's supposed to be in the game. Stuff that's supposed to be in the game.
Right.
Stuff
Diablo 4 received... in the game
before you did anything for a roadmap. New enemies come out to the game, they're there. You get to the new level, there's new enemies. Yeah. Telling me there's new enemies as a bonus to why I should play the game is just what you're supposed to do for the fucking game. That's it.
D4 has received its first big expansion last year, Vessels of Hatred, which shook things considerably. Diablo 4's newest update adds a lot of cosmetic items into the mix, but not everyone is happy about the prices. All right, Diablo's Berserker crossover is here, marking the exciting and controversial time for the game, with the cost of the new update causing outrage from players. Reddit user Hilltop Hood shared a breakdown of the cost of Diablo 4's new Berserker update to the rest of the game's online community, prompting hundreds of comments. Many were offended by the price. They were offended by the price.
God, offended as well?
With one fan explaining that $150
now.
They could buy several other new games. Not AAA, my friend. You could buy one new game, and then you would have to pay a little bit extra because they're $80 now. They're $80 now, right? So I still have some leftover cash left over. Others argue that buying cosmetics in a game like Diablo 4 is pointless. I mean, I would be one of those people that said buying most skins in most games are pointless, especially first-person games. Now, Diablo at least is third person, and you can see the actual character in your cosmetics that you purchase. But there's a plenty of games out there. I'm not looking at anybody in particular like Call of Duty, but you're paying top tiers for first-person views, right? So obtaining all Berserker sets will run $150. It's crazy.
Yeah, but can you earn the platinum in the game?
Probably not.
Can you earn platinum in the game?
Chat, can you earn platinum in the game? Probably not, Sarge. Right. It's the premium currency, so you probably can't.
Because if you can't earn platinum in the game, then just say it costs $150. Don't tell me I have to buy platinum and then charge me $150 worth of platinum.
Well, you have to buy more than $150.
Go fuck yourself.
Right? You have to buy more.
Go fuck yourself.
Says, okay, the cost of the entire Berserker set will run players 16,500 platinum, though they will have to purchase more currency than they need, actually, totaling 18,500. So apparently they don't sell in those increments.
Yeah, I know how that works.
And this is a law that's actually passing over in the European.
Almost.
Yeah.
If they win that court case, then there'll be no more over there now, not over here yet. But
right.
It works its way over. If they win that court case, then you can't put anything in your game that says you have to trade money for a thing, and the thing
just pay for the thing.
That's right. Whatever dollar amount their country's in, it has to be in that dollar amount.
Yeah, and just let me pay for that. I shouldn't have to pay $20 for a $15 item, right? So I can have $5 left over, right? Like it's just let me pay for the thing I want to pay for, and let's move on with our lives. Okay.
Yep.
Again, I'm not paying for any of that stuff, but you know what I'm saying. This is hardly the first time Diablo 4 has made waves over the price structure in the game, deploying several pricey cosmetic packs and items. That's also been the issue. Dates back years though for Diablo 3, also causing controversy. Do you think this is going to change? Diablo 3 had the issues. Diablo 4 has the they just keep pushing the envelope, man. They just keep seeing how high can you go.
The only way it stops is if you not to play. That's it. That's it. You want them to come to you and say, we're really sorry. We don't have any more microtransactions. We really want you to play our game. Until they say that, just don't delete. Plenty other games to play, dude.
Think about this.
PoE 2, plenty of games, bro. Plenty of games.
If you're charging $150 for cosmetics, someone would bitch. Imagine DLC coming out and it cost $150. People would lose their mind. They're like, what do you mean you're charging $150 for cosmetics? And they would be right. They'd be right to do that, right? This is cosmetic. This is just cosmetic things, $150. I'll never ever understand.
Like to buy pretty things.
No, I understand that, but I never understood.
Like to buy little pretty things. They buy their bows and their brooches and their little cute little pins and their earrings. Everyone likes to dress up like a little girl, bro. They love the cosmetics. That's the way you want to play it.
Perfect example.
Gotta look cool.
Perfect example. Okay, is Grand Theft Auto coming out? Right, the online is going to be coming out. Shark cards are going to be in Grand Theft Auto 6. The game is probably going to cost you $80. And you can see how massive Grand Theft Auto is going to be. And yet, imagine that the game costs $80, but the one skin in the game costs $150, which would be 2 times the amount of the actual game. How does that fundamentally make sense?
I mean, I love Diablo. I loved it. But as soon as they started doing this, I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. I'll go play PoE. It's right there.
Yeah, PoE it's going to be free. And the cosmetics are still expensive there, but at least the game is free. Diablo, you got to pay for, right? Diablo, you got to pay for, and you're paying for the cosmetic skins on top of that, and you're paying for the battle pass, and you're paying for.
So far, the article has told me nothing about anything except the fact that they've released some new things for you to buy. Because outrage,
expensive things.
Outrage, offended, and backlash mean absolutely nothing in the real world. It means absolutely nothing.
Right, because people are still buying it. People are still buying the stuff. So they're just keep doing what they're doing.
So it's basically a Monday.
Right.
It's a Monday at Activision. We're doing well.
All right. Next thing, we'll go over to Helldivers, Sarge.
$50. It's out of control,
for cosmetics. All right. So Helldivers 2 CEO says you'll shit your pants over what comes down the pipe. I mean, there's a joke in there somewhere, right? You'll shit yourself with the pipe. Got it. Helldivers 2 is gearing up for some news, and developer Arrowhead Game Studios seems confident it will impress. Or, as Arrowhead CEO is farming, you might want to prepare yourself. I don't think you should do this, right? Rockstar didn't go, you guys should prepare yourself for the greatest video game ever created. They went, there's the trailer. Have fun, right? These guys are telling you, you're going to be the most excited. You know what's going to happen? No one's going to give a shit. No one's going to give a shit.
I got to sneeze.
Bless you.
Do you know where Helldivers 2 would be right now if Sony didn't try to do that fucking move?
They would have probably broke. What did they break? 480,000 concurrent. They
probably
probably would have broke like 600,000.
Yeah. Did you know they're not sold in like over 45 countries? They're not sold.
More than that.
Is it more than 45?
Like it's like 80 countries. 72 countries. Yeah, it's like 72 to 80 countries. Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Well, they like money, just not from those regions.
No. They like money, but they don't get enough money unless they sell their information. So they have to sign up for a PlayStation account.
Right.
And so it's not worth their time to sell a game to somebody who wants to buy their game because it's not worth it. They have to be able to sell you the game and get your information as well. That's the only way they make money now. You know that.
Yeah. Kirby says lots of companies are going to take GTA 6 monetization practices, put greedy spin on it, and that's what happened with GTA 5. Oh, for sure. They just let them go. Let them cook, right? That's what they're going to let them do and see what they do. Spotted on a Video Gamer, Arrowhead CEO says he's discussing Helldivers 2 as a game Discord when the user asked him if he could offer up anything, however small, what's coming down the pipe. His response is, "You'll shit your pants."
All right, so let's speculate. How many people are allowed to play in a single mission?
It's 4 people.
There's no 3 teams of 4 or 2 teams of 4. None of that. Nope. Just 4. Nope. All right. So, what would make you shit your pants?
I mean, if
a new race to fight,
I would need massive scale. I would need massive scale battles.
Okay.
What Starship Troopers is doing with like 16 players going up against the race, right? You would have to give me 12 to 16 people on a map, right? Larger map scale.
Yep. Vehicles.
Put vehicles, right? Yep. New enemy type of stuff. Maybe like, I know there's like bases and stuff. Maybe you're like sieging into a base or something. Like, if I'm gonna shit my pants, Sarge, you gotta go up. I've been gaming for 44 years almost. Okay, so I'm not gonna shit my pants easily here. You gotta impress me. You can't just come in here and say, I'm gonna put this thing in. You're gonna shit your pants.
Well, so in order for me to shit my pants, it'd have to be something that's out of the ordinary for the game to be. So it'd have to be more than 4 people, right? You'd have to have vehicles, larger maps, and some type of like super boss battle where I'm invading something or trying to blow up a base.
How about spaceship, like spaceship to spaceship, like fighter jets in space?
No,
right?
Game, stay on the planet. I don't need to be in space.
Hey, look, I want to shit my pants, Sarge. I want to shit my pants. You got to go above and beyond, okay, to get that, right? Maybe, okay. Planetary flying, okay, where you got like fighter jets and stuff in there. You're doing like air raid bombings and stuff like that. Yeah, like an airstrike. Let's do stuff like that, you know?
I mean, that it has to be it has to be a wow factor here. I don't know what you're. I mean,
what it is. I mean,
a long play campaign.
I don't think that game needs a campaign. The story itself.
I'm trying to get you to shit your pants.
No, I understand that, but I don't think they need a campaign because the story of them doing what they're doing right now of liberating the planets and stuff like that. That is the story. Do you know what I mean?
I like that part of it because it makes you feel like you're
part of the story.
It's you versus the AI type of thing.
Yeah,
like
if you slack off, you could lose it, right?
Well, right. Like if you didn't pay attention when you played Planetside, like if you and your buddies, your clan didn't get on that weekend, like the European Union, the actual European Union would take over more territory and the Americans would have to fight harder, like that kind of thing. Right. I like that kind of aspect in the game, though. It makes it like a more of a community. But I mean, after you shit the bed, and I mean, they shit the bed. So I don't know how you're going to make me shit my pants.
I brought them up a little bit earlier today when, like right now, what Expedition 33 is doing with nerfing a 4 billion damage thing. And I said that it's not really a big deal. They should, I don't believe they should be nerfing stuff, but something as simple as nerfing something in a single player game could stop people to playing the game. You know what I mean? Like what happened to Helldivers had nothing to do with the game itself. It had everything to do with Sony coming in saying, hey, kids, all you guys that are having fun, you need to leave, right? The cops are coming. You know, like walked into a house party and just kind of ruined the feel. And everyone's like, they left. And those people never came back, all right? Because they're like, well, Sony fucked up the party, so I'm gone. And it wasn't what Helldivers did. It was what Sony did. And I feel like when it doesn't matter what game it is, there's that moment of everyone's having fun. Perfect example, Minecraft the movie with Chicken Jockey, okay? Everyone was having fun, and then someone had to step in and pull the plug, and dramatically the box office went from it hit 800 million, now it's maybe going to get past 900 million, and it's coming on DVD next week, okay? Like or rental next week, right? So when they get involved and they put something and they pull the pin, which they did with Helldivers, Sony happened there, Sarge? What are you doing?
I slipped.
I was like, what the hell?
I slipped.
Right? So basically, Sony screwed the pooch for Arrowhead and Helldivers because the player base just never got there. Regardless, just like we talked about earlier, Call of Duty slowly dipping down. All games start to dip down, but they prematurely wrecked what Helldivers was going. They were at their high point.
Well, they broke their momentum completely, is what they did. They were having really good momentum, and then Sony decided they wanted to pivot.
Yeah, seriously, chat. I thought Sarge was doing the whole Jeff Keighley thing, get off the stage for like 30 seconds. Like you have 30 seconds left. I was like, what the hell's happening?
No, it wasn't play the music off. Yeah. No, it wasn't that. So now that you say that, that's kind of funny.
Yeah. Right. So look, I hope they come out with something really cool for Helldivers. I would like to play it again. Honest to God, I was playing it.
What's stopping you from playing it right now?
It just, there's other games.
I mean, you don't like it anymore?
It literally, I stopped playing when Sony did what they did.
But you don't like the game anymore?
I do like the game, but I don't have time. I have limited time to play the games that I'm playing, right? And between Towerborn and Dragon Wilds that came out, and Borderlands 3 and Expedition 33, right? I don't have time to throw in a game. Like you had your shot. Force suppressions are everything. You had your shot to keep my attention. You fucked it up, and then I moved on.
Plenty of stuff over here.
Right, and they're like, "Oh, but we fixed it." And I'm like, "I don't care. I've moved on. I've moved on."
Plenty of stuff over here.
Right.
So I'm hoping this is their attempt to get people to jump back into the pool, but it has to be something really has to be a really big wow factor for people to come back though. I mean, I made the decision. I figured I'll play around with it a little bit while I'm waiting for the rest of Space Marine 2 to come out, and so when it goes on sale next time, I'll pick it up.
So here, even this, what Def is saying, ego, right? He's saying that what's going on to stop him from the future is Arc Raiders is going to explode, right? Let's say Marathon or Arc Raiders comes out and they get the baton, right? Yep. They have the stick of power to talk, right? We're the new popular game. Do you think people are going to go play Helldivers? That's a year old. Nobody cares about old stuff. They want new stuff. They want to see what the new thing. Who's the new kid on the block? What have you done for me lately? Oh, this is the brand new game that's coming out. Everyone was talking hype about it. I want to play that. And that's what they do. They'll just move on to the next game, right? And if that game can hold people's attention, the game that came out last year, 10 months ago, Once Human. Once Human came out, people loved Once Human. No one talks about Once Human right now. Nothing wrong with Once Human, but no one's talking about Once Human.
It's done. It's not dead. It's just done. We move on.
Grind it up, push it through, next game.
On. So they're trying to get the people back that they didn't have before, but I still think it's still humorous to me that you can't buy this game in 80 countries. Doesn't make sense.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to me that Sony was like, yeah, we're making money in all these countries, and they're like, nah, but they don't want to sign up, so we're going to pull it from that country. We don't want to make more money. It's like, now if you notice, Sony has changed their plan. Like when games come out now, you don't have to sign up anymore. They're like, yeah.
What?
Hey,
what?
So it's we'll see what happens. Look, I hope the CEO is correct. I hope they come out with something really cool that makes people shit their pants.
You tell me when the release date is, and I'll go buy some Depends. And then that way I'll get all the bases covered.
All right, going on to the next thing. Speaking of losing player base and then actually trying to like fight back to come back to have actually some sort of distinction of what's happening. Let's see. Where is stage? No, where
you got a different brand? Water? Do you prefer a different brand? I'm pretty sure Depends is the brand. I mean, there's the SNL version. Oops, I crapped my pants. I know that version.
Yeah. Oops, I crapped my pants. So Overwatch 2 director, right? We have the Helldivers guy saying you're going to shit your pants.
Yep.
And now we have Overwatch 2 director teases big future plans for the game.
Future plans for the game that no one cares for. Let's hear it. I mean,
right?
You mean you guys want to do something now that somebody else has come over and fucking stole your fucking Cheerios? Like, you want to do something now?
Overwatch was asleep at the wheel. They're just like, oh, wait, we got rid of PvE. We're not doing any of that stuff. We're barely putting any heroes in the actual game. You want to... And all of a sudden, Marvel Rivals came out, and Blizzard was like, oh, shit. We can't just collect a paycheck now. We actually have to do something.
Yeah,
okay,
that's exactly correct.
Yeah, they have competition now. Right? So it says Overwatch 2 director. What's that?
It's amazing how that works.
Yeah. Overwatch 2 director teases monumental updates for the game in the future after listening to feedback for inspiration. Right? Game developers need inspiration from the people that are playing their games. In recent Season 16 updates added a stadium mode. Ooh. Future seasons will bring new heroes, maps, and features to Overwatch 2 with exciting updates planned for 2026. So we're going to tell you nothing.
All right, Chad, I want you to just look at this little box here on the screen. And I want us, I know we all get tired of this shit, but we want to make sure that we're all keeping up with our terms. All right. So who can tell me what the first positive term from Corpo Speak is when looking at those boxes? Which one? What's the first one you see?
Well, I mean, monumental.
Yep, good. Monumental is a good one. That's a positive word towards getting people to understand. You want them looking at your game. What else? What else is there? Corpo words. Come on, guys.
I mean,
which else is the Corpo word?
That new mode. They got the new mode in there for stadium mode. Right.
Yep. Well, new is a lot of stuff, right? Exciting, right? Exciting. When they use the word exciting, they're trying to convey emotion to nothing. There's nothing there.
They don't have anything yet.
They have nothing, but I want you to feel something about my nothing, right? That's a Corpo word. Feel excited because I'm talking to you. Feel excited. Do you understand the idiocy level of when you have a game that's at the top and then you don't care about it because you don't have competition, and then the minute somebody comes into your backyard and does better than you all of a sudden wake up and start doing your fucking job?
Yeah, we're listening to your feedback.
Like, you do your fucking job once you're in trouble. Instead of just doing your job and maintaining the game and doing better for the company, you wait until no one cares about you and somebody's beating you, and then you say you care. Well, I got news for you. Go away. I'm done. Don't care about your game anymore.
This is what EA does with their Madden and FIFA games, right? They don't want to compete, so they pay a lot of money to get the exclusive rights, so they have no competition because they would rather go on cruise control and just make the exact same game every single year, minimal viable product. And Blizzard was doing the exact same thing with Overwatch. No one was competing with Overwatch. Overwatch had a run. I mean, they had a hell of a run.
Fucking textbook. You can't get more textbook than what we are witnessing live, right? You come out with a game, you promise the world, you release it, everybody loves it. Then you promise the universe, you do nothing with the sequel, and then you stop caring. Instead of to fix it when you had when you had time to fix it, everyone told you we don't know what this is. You said you were going to do all this stuff, you did nothing. You started canceling stuff. So you didn't care about it so much that you canceled it. From no developers are working on it. Right?
We're not doing a PvE.
We don't want anybody working on it. We have other
updates.
stuff to work on. We got other important stuff to work on. But the minute somebody else comes over, now you're fucking going to move your ass. It's a joke, bro.
I mean, the best part about this is, look, now this is good for us, the consumers. If you like heroes, shooters, and you liked Overwatch, and now Overwatch is competing with Marvel Rivals, and Marvel Rivals is they're just making the game. They're just like, hey, Overwatch wasn't doing this, and now we're doing this. And they're like, oh, well, we got to do this, right? Even if Overwatch starts adding, 4 characters a year, they're still 12 behind, right? Because Marvel's pumping heroes out. Now, I've talked about this in length. It's much different what Overwatch has with their characters and what Marvel has with their characters. I said this type of genre lives or dies without as many characters that you bring in, and people want to play their favorite superhero. If there is their superhero already in the game, or is their superhero coming to the game?
You had 5 years to come up with stories for your characters.
Oh, for Overwatch, yeah. Well, they've had
5 years.
9 years. Or you're saying 5 years from when before?
Yes.
They stopped caring.
Years,
yeah.
You had 5 years to make up all the stories you wanted about all the awesome characters you made, but no one cared.
Yeah, well, they did care, and they were going to make PvE stories and stuff, and then they went, nah, we're not going to do that.
Wasn't worth it. That's their words. Wasn't worth it.
They made so much money from the tournaments, from the esports events, from the game. I mean, nobody was coming close to what Overwatch was doing the first 3-4 years of their lifespan. And then they went, cruise control, baby, cruise control. And then Marvel Rivals came out of nowhere, and they're like, oh, shit, wake up, there's someone coming for us. And they're like, oh, shit, we don't have PvE. I swear to God, I want Marvel to put a PvE in the game just to crush Overwatch for not doing it. I do, right? I want, out of spite, I want them to do what Overwatch was going to do but didn't, and Marvel just puts it in like a nothing. They're just like, yeah, there you go. There's the PvE that Overwatch was supposed to give you. And Overwatch would just, they would shit their pants. They would shit their pants because they would be like, oh, my God, they just beat us at our own game. They just beat us at our own game. Okay. So much so, though, Marvel Rivals, this is just normal, Sarge, but Marvel Rivals player count hits a new low. Okay. And this has to, I think, do with more of so many games in the market, and the characters that they bring in have to be bangers, man. You can't come in. Emma Frost is a known character, right? Emma Frost is a known character, but she's not a very popular character amongst everybody else, right? Like the normies know Wolverine, Deadpool, Iron Man, stuff like that. They don't know who Emma Frost is. They just know she's got really good looking chest and thick thighs, and she's a hot, right? That's what they know. But they don't know the character. So if you bring in, like right now, they're talking about Jubilee. Jubilee might come into the game. Okay. We know Jubilee from like the old cartoons back in 1996, 97 era, right? But a lot of people don't know Jubilee, right? They know nothing about her. And bringing her into the game is not going to like all of a sudden have this mass appeal, or people going to come back for these numbers where they're going to come running back to the game for Jubilee. They're not going to come running back in the game for Beast. They're not going to come running back to the game if they have Toad or a lower tier character. You know what I mean? You need the big hitters to come into the game to keep somewhat people interested. If they bring in Gambit, if they bring in Deadpool, if they bring in Juggernaut, if they bring in more popular characters,
but it doesn't.
Then maybe you'll see a bump go up higher. But this is just normal. It's just going to do this the entire lifespan of the game is.
Every line that we've ever seen for any game does the wave, and no matter what they release afterwards, it never reaches the peak that it originally started at.
Right.
It just goes
very
down.
rarely.
It
very
goes
rarely
up and down, but over time it could just slowly decays. That's the way it works. The only way that you come close, I won't even say fully, but the only way you would come close to going back up closer to the peak that Rivals got when it first released is if they told you there was a PvE thing in the game now. Some kind of story mission that would get people to come back in.
That would bring people back.
That would bring people back. Otherwise, this is just like any other game. It doesn't, like, I agree with you. You have to bring back characters to get people back interested, But all that's really doing is artificially maintaining a
100%.
game that nobody else wants to play anymore. Not because I don't like it, because I have options.
Too many options.
I have options.
You ever go to a Chinese restaurant and you look at the menu?
No.
And they have. You've never been to a Chinese restaurant?
No.
Okay, well, you know what I'm talking about. They've got like 200 items on the list for their menu, and you're like, I don't know what the hell to order. I'll take H3, right? Like you have no idea because there's so much stuff to pick from. You're overwhelmed with the options. That's what gaming is right now. There's so many options to what games you could play and where to play them, what system to play it on.
But it comes down to two things and two things only: money and time. Okay.
Well, less of the money, more of time, really.
Right. I don't have the time to play. If I like your game, I'll play it. If something happens and I'm getting bored of your game or it's just the same, I'm gonna go someplace else. It doesn't matter how many characters released. Yes, what you say is true. It maintains the population and gets new people to come back in, and eventually they should pick somebody that you like. So then those groups of people would come back in, but it's still descending. It doesn't ever go back up to the top. So the way I look at this is Rivals will probably go out for this whole year that you're in right now. And then Overwatch sometime in the spring of next year will release something and no one will care about Rivals and they'll play Overwatch for a little while. And then we'll move on from there. It's not going to be like this huge hoopla.
I don't think I know it's still early. It's the honeymoon stage still for Rivals. All depending on what they have in plans down the pipeline here, I think Marvel Rivals will take it and never let go of the lead over Overwatch. Overwatch won't get back to that point where they were.
Overwatch is not going to get back into where they were before, but I will say that they'll play Overwatch. The numbers will be higher than the descending numbers of Rivals for that small period of time when it comes out, right? But I got news for you. If the date is real, nobody's playing shit next summer.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
If the date is real, nobody's playing shit.
Well, let's talk about this, right? Because this is the next story, which is Rockstar. Okay. So nobody said shit about nothing, and then all of a sudden on May 2nd, Rockstar comes out, and everyone's like, "Is this real? Is this real?" It was from Rockstar themselves. They came out and said Grand Theft Auto 6 is now coming May 26, 2026. Okay. Grand Theft Auto 6 is now releasing on May 26, 2026, and we are sorry that this is later than you expected. We expected in 2021, right? So to say to say that it's later than expected, people were saying the game was coming out in 2021. So it says excitement surrounding Grand Theft Auto has been truly humbling over our entire team, and we want to thank you for the support and the patience as we work and finish the game. With every game that we've also released, the goal has always been to try to exceed our expectations or your expectations, which is hard to do, right, for gamers. And the Grand Theft Auto 6 is no exception. We hope we understand that we need this extra time to deliver a level of quality that you expect and deserve. We look forward to sharing more information. Look, I 100% believe that I had three theories, Sarge. I had three theories, just theories. I don't want to say that this is official in any way, shape, or form. These are just my theories of this. This was 100% supposed to come out in October. 100% supposed to come out in October.
That's correct.
The more I see other things happening right now, I forgot about Mafia. Mafia comes out in August. That's a Take-Two game, right? Borderlands 4 is coming out in September, which was supposed to be late September, okay? But now it got pushed up 12 days or 11 days to early September, right? And then Grand Theft Auto was supposed to land in October, right? I'm pretty sure sometime in October it was supposed to land. And I said one of my theories is I think Sony, because they usually have the marketing rights for Borderlands and they usually have the marketing rights for Grand Theft Auto, Marathon needs to land, okay? Marathon needs to land with their live service game. And again, this is just my theory, okay, where Marathon was lined up directly with Borderlands 4. PlayStation's the largest console provider out there right now. They're the leader of the console market right now as far as the next gen goes, okay? I understand that the Switch 1 is more, but as far as power, next gen, whatever, right, they're the biggest. So if they're putting money in to Borderlands, and they're putting money for marketing rights, because we know they're marketing Borderlands 4. They have the marketing rights for that. We don't know if they have the marketing rights for Grand Theft Auto 6 yet, but it's assumed that they do, okay? if they're going to throw money at this, they don't want to hinder themselves because they threw in 60% of their money into Sony to make live service games. Concord bombed in 12 days, right? They're struggling with a whole bunch of other stuff. They screwed themselves over with Helldivers, right? They need a win, okay? So they made a phone call. They said, look, we're doing the marketing right. Again, this is my theory, chat. We need to move Borderlands. And Zelnick was like, look, we can't move it up too much because we have Mafia in August. We can give you 11 days, okay? Borderlands 4 moves up, right? And Sony was like, all right, 11 days will work, but what about after, right? Marathon might start off slow. We need as much room as we possibly can. And Zelnick's like, I really want to keep Grand Theft Auto in October, right? Someone got pushed, and they went, all right, fine, we'll put it in May. 26 sounds like a really good number for GTA 6. So we'll put it there for right now as a placeholder. We'll keep ourselves there. They could delay again, but that just opened up everything. Even Kojima came out and said Grand Theft Auto sucks the room out, and people move their game, where he moved his game up from September to June because they thought Grand Theft Auto was coming out in October, November. Okay, so this is earth-shattering for a lot of companies. Now they all took a big sigh of relief. They're like, oh, thank God, Grand Theft Auto is not coming out this year. So much so that even Battlefield now, the next Battlefield game, when we didn't know Grand Theft Auto was pushing back to 2026, they said that they were going to push their next Battlefield game to the next year, okay, before March. But now they're in talks of, well, they're showing some gameplay off in June, okay? They schedule a thing in June to show gameplay. And now they're in talks of putting it out late this year, right? Meaning they're pushing it up, which is, we'll talk about that in a second.
So
later.
What you're saying is you were ready, you were going to be ready next spring, but all of a sudden you're ready for this year? You believe that?
I don't believe Battlefield will be ready, no.
That's correct.
Yeah, it's not going to be ready.
That's correct.
Okay.
So here's my question to you. When companies assign marketing, it's planned out ahead of time. It's not like last week we decided to make some spots. We're going to pay for some spots. We're going to put them out there, right? Stuff's booked ahead of time. We're going to pay what we're marketing for,
right?
Right. So when you see the trailer for Grand Theft Auto, and then you know that means that it's close, or we're getting around to that time again, right? However, to say that it's delayed and then immediately give a date, like. Not even a question.
Right. 2 days later.
You didn't say next year sometime. You didn't say next summer or next spring. You said next year, May 26, 2026. That's it. Like that. Like if you can do that, you're going to pinpoint the day that far out, then you're already done with the game. You're going to do your little polishing thing now.
They were finishing it up.
You're buffing and waxing and you're doing all the kinds of stuff you're going to do. That's cool. However, now that you do this and you announce that kind of thing, you now shift everybody else. Everybody else is shifting, right?
Now people that were waiting for it, that we're going to push next year, are now, we got to get it out before. We now have a year, right? Or really 6 months, right? They're like, we got to get it out before May of next year.
But that's our point, Krebsy, because now Battlefield knows it needs that time to finish it. Right? They were going to just wait until after Grand Theft Auto. Don't worry about it. Now they get pinched themselves because now they have to release it before they're ready because they can't get it near Grand Theft Auto.
They said in a recent thing, more recent, they said that they're now pushing for the end of this year because now they know, right? Because last week it was, we don't know when Grand Theft Auto is coming out. They didn't say this, but that's what everyone was waiting for. Now we know Grand Theft Auto's coming out, and now EA's like, well, now we can push it. We can push it to this year, right?
Sure.
There's no way Battlefield. Look, they would rather release a broken, buggy game 6 months early than put a game that's finished right before Grand Theft Auto is. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
They would rather get the 6 months of people's money, play time, and then promises than to just put a game out and then nobody play it after Grand Theft Auto comes out. They would rather get the 6 months than not.
That's how powerful GTA is.
Dude, All right, look, GTA 6 trailer 2 has already hit 500 million views. Okay. Been revealed the second trailer, Grand Theft Auto 6, has already 500 million views across all platforms, and the data comes directly from Rockstar Games' recently announced lengthy delay for a long-awaited open-world epic. Now, unprecedented response comes after fans waited 1.5 years for more information about GTA 6, widely touted as the most highly anticipated game of all time. 100%. There's no doubt in my mind this is going to be, I've said this for years. I said best pre-orders, best day one, or best week one, best month one, best year one. Nothing's going to beat this game.
All right, well let's look at it objectively from the business standpoint as well. And let's not just say it's Sony, okay, that made the phone call, right? Let's look at it from all aspects. We just got hit with tariffs that they're trying to use as the excuse. They're just raising prices for all video games and hardware. So if Grand Theft Auto came out this year, they don't want any negative publicity if they can avoid it, right? So instead of coming out this year and being blamed for charging $100 for their video game, which I'm pretty sure most people would agree with, it's probably going to be worth $100. But
this would be the first quadruple A game.
Let's just talk about normal pricing, regardless of how your game is, how much money you spent on it. Well, how much the game is supposed to be the game is supposed to be. Your game's supposed to be $60 or $70, right? So Rockstar says, okay, let's weigh this out. We push back. We don't get blamed for tariffs. We don't get blamed for the price hike because everyone will be comfortable by next year. It'll just be like water under the bridge at that point, right? We make Sony happy, right? We pick up some more marketing from them because of us pushing back. They'll have to do some spots for us that they're not going to charge us for, so we can push the advertisements longer, right? And so it all falls into the category of when we do release, then we've polished it, everything's ready. We're going to release it specifically. Everybody else is happy, and just being able to say, now watch this, just being able to say we are truly the first quadruple A game. Because of the amount of money they spent on it, right? Because it's $100 between the $80 or $70 that it would have been this year to $100. That means they're going to make a 30% markup by just waiting a year. Yeah. And in business, if you told me that you can make 30% more if you just wait a year, I'd be like, okay, we'll wait a year. We'll just polish it, right?
Right.
So
which they do all the time in the film industry and entertainment field.
Which they do all the time.
They bake stuff, and put it on the shelf. Yeah.
Rockstar, I'll probably say maybe like 30 million the first week. I'll probably say 30 million plus on the first week, right? Selling, right? So you're talking about $3 billion the first week that this game is out. $3 billion.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is going to blow records off the fucking scale.
I mean, you can look at the trailer and go, yeah, this is going to be insane.
I still don't believe that's captured on PlayStation. I'm sorry.
I mean, well, we have a story about that. So it says right here, it says, after some said that GTA 6 trailer 2 looked too good to have been captured on a base PlayStation 5, Rockstar confirms it really was. And there's even gameplay in there, right? So there is gameplay. There was one scene I remember, he like walks through a door. That's gameplay. It's like when he is up on top of the roof in the very beginning of the trailer, and then he walks into his house behind that thing. That's gameplay. 100% that was gameplay.
That was a transition. It wasn't gameplay. It was a transition. Can't call that gameplay. Jesus Christ.
But it is. It's captured in game.
Great. A transition is not gameplay.
Right? So it says, too good to be true. And suggested that footage came from the PlayStation 5 Pro or a PC. Not so. According to Rockstar, in a social media post, developers said the GTA 6 trailer was captured entirely in-game from PlayStation 5, and not only, but it contains equal parts gameplay and cutscenes. Equal parts gameplay and cutscene. Sure. Okay. Here's a statement in full.
You and I are going to disagree about what the fuck gameplay is. Okay. Showing someone walk through a door or move 2 steps is not fucking gameplay. Okay.
I mean, when I look at Indiana Jones and it cuts from your first person view and the transition is seamless through the cutscenes and your first person view, doesn't change the graphic. Graphically, Indiana Jones is the exact same when you're playing in first person and all of a sudden it cuts to a cutscene. Okay? You didn't know that? I mean, that's what it is. It's perfect. Even when you go to the whip, it transitions perfectly from first person to third person back to first person, and it looks fantastic. Okay? To say that you can't tell the difference. That's the point. The point is that Grand Theft Auto, whatever technology they're using, okay, have seamlessly made it where you can't tell the difference between cutscenes and gameplay. And that is mind-boggling, right? Just like right now in today, you can't tell the difference between AI art made or a real person making art, or AI music or videos being made, unless someone tells you this is AI, right? People are being fooled every single day by things that are happening, and you're like, yeah, it's not actually.
So then I'll build upon my argument, is saying that if what I saw graphically was a PlayStation 5, whether it be regular or Pro, then my question is, what the fuck have they been doing for 5 years that I don't get these kind of games currently when the system's been out for fucking 5
I mean,
years?
Remember when they first showed Cyberpunk? Everyone was mind blown by Cyberpunk.
If the system can do it, right? So nobody's taking advantage of the PlayStation 5's power because they're afraid to, but Grand Theft Auto, who's been working on it for fucking 10 years, knows how to work it.
Maybe they don't want to go to that point, because then it becomes this unattainable thing where budgets for video games
coming.
Well, budgets for video games,
unattainable thing is coming.
Look, you can make your graphics this way, but are you going to make the sales that Grand Theft Auto makes? No, you're not. Right? Cyberpunk made all their money back in the first.
The example's still going to be set.
Cyberpunk made their money back all on day one. Okay, made all their money back that they made in day one. Rockstar will do the same thing. All these other games, they're struggling, man. Right? There's games out there, they're like, we got 3 million copies sold, or players, right? They're struggling trying to get their money back. Rockstar spent $3 billion, and they're going to make all that money back within the first day and a half. Okay?
Week.
So they'll make it before that. I bet you they make their money back in day one. Day one with pre-orders, and then day one sales.
You think pre-orders and day one sales are going to be $2 billion?
I think they will make all their money back before it's launched everywhere. That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
right?
I think this year waiting right now is the year where it goes to PC, so it's going to be all released at the same time.
See, I don't know about this. I was on your side.
It was going to come out this year. It was going to come out this year, but not on PC. Not on PC, but it came out this year on consoles. Now you're waiting a year until next May. So now everything comes out at the same time.
Well, this is I had the same thought. I was like, oh, they pushed it back and they're going to release a day and date. But then I thought about it. I was like, I don't know. I was like, they are waiting to see what the sales are, right? Prices have gone up on consoles. And talk about bad timing, right? A week before, not even 4 days before, Microsoft comes out and says we're raising all our prices for our consoles. All they had to do was nothing, right? 1 week later, Grand Theft Auto drops a trailer and then says it's coming out in May of 2026, and Microsoft already raised the price of their consoles that no one's going to buy, by the way. No one's going to buy a fucking Xbox Series X where they had it for $120 cheaper on Monday, and now it's $120 more. Okay?
That's correct.
Meanwhile, PlayStation hasn't raised the price yet. Okay? Right now, there's people going out buying a PlayStation waiting to play this game next year in May. Okay, they'll just buy it and keep it because it's cheaper right now than it's going to be maybe in a month or two from now.
Or they're buying it cheaper right now because they know the price is going to go up and resell it.
That's what I'm saying, right? They're buying it right now, and Microsoft already raised the price before they announced GTA, so they got to be kicking themselves in the ass right now.
You got to see that. You guys saw the title card. At the bottom of the screen for the title card, there wasn't PC. It was consoles.
They would never
only.
put that. Yeah, no, they wouldn't put it. And this is exactly right. Remember, if PlayStation has the marketing rights, they will not put it on PC because people that have PCs would 100% wait for PC. Okay, but because a majority of people will wait on PC, 100%.
Well, they're waiting right now.
No, I understand that. What I'm saying is, there's people that don't even buy on Epic because a game's exclusive on Epic. I'll wait till it comes to Steam because they don't want to even go to Epic to play it on their PC, right? So the PC players are going to wait, but there's going to be this people. If it's, I don't know, 10%, or when they start seeing this, people playing it, they're going to get that urge. And the people that own a PC usually own one of the other consoles, if it's Xbox or PlayStation. Okay? So a majority of them will buy it on console first, and then they'll double dip. They'll buy it again when it comes to PC a year later because they got to get that urge. They got to get that fix. And that's a percentage of people that will do that, right? So I don't know. I want to say they're going to release it, but they're not going to advertise that, especially if PlayStation has the marketing rights, because they want to make sure that people are going out to buy. And this is why I think they wait for the holidays. Right now, there's less than 100 million units for Rockstar to sell their system on, right? Just consoles. Between PlayStation and Xbox, there's less than 100 million units out there. Potentially it's 75 million for PlayStation, and I think it's like 33 million for Xbox. So you're just over 100. When Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, there was 120 million units of consoles out there when they launched Grand Theft Auto, right? So right now, there are about 15 million to 20 million less in the market than there was out there when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. So because of that, they might wait to see what the holiday sales do for PlayStation and Xbox as far as who buys it, where that number ends up before May. And when it gets closer, they might go, we're releasing at all places. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
That would be the only pinch that Sony could hope for. The pinch right now is announcing that Grand Theft Auto is coming out next year, May. It's shown on a PlayStation 5. You don't raise the price of the PlayStation 5, so everybody who doesn't have a PlayStation 5 sees the price increase of Xbox and like, fuck that, I'm getting a PlayStation 5.
Right, I'm going to get a PlayStation 5.
That's correct. So if Sony keeps their mouth shut and their wallets and their factory is the same, sell as many units as you can. So when it's time to sell Grand Theft Auto, you sell as many as you can.
Right.
But I'm telling you, because of the same argument you're using right now, the fact that there are less consoles out there, that when this game comes out in May, it's across all platforms. You're not waiting an additional year for PC. Because right now, the game would have been coming out this year. You would have waited the year for PC. And now you're waiting now for the PC right now.
So I want to say, though, now if it comes out in May and it stays on the May 26th, I think in October it comes out for PC 6 months later.
You think it's going to make you wait 6 months? I don't think so.
Well, what I'm saying is if it was supposed to come out October this year,
I know
it would have been 1 year later.
Right. The 1 year mark would have been October, not May.
So I think if it comes out in May for consoles, it might get pushed sooner. Because it took 18 months to get it on PC, Grand Theft Auto 5. Was it 18 months or was it 12 months? I forget what it was. I think it was 18 months. Because I remember the heists, again, it's 13 years ago. I remember the heist came out, but the heist didn't get complete or put in the game until it came to PC. Right? Chat, check me, I forget.
I'm just saying it's everything all at once because of the same reason you described. Because the platforms are not there anymore. However,
there's not enough consoles for Rockstar to be okay with.
That's correct. However, there's other ways you can play the game.
Well, if there's less consoles out there, and they're charging $80 now instead of $60 back then, they're making an additional $20 per person, so they don't have to sell as many copies.
That's correct. And plus the fact that if Microsoft wants to throw their shit into the ring, and why wouldn't they, right? You offer money up front for Game Pass for a month.
Yep, that'd be a lot of money.
That's right. Would be a lot of money. But
Rockstar Zelnick has come out and said, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Zelnick said he doesn't like the Game Pass model. But you know what? Money fucking talks. And if they give them, let's just say a crazy number, right? $1 billion. They give them 1/3 of their entire budget to put it on Game Pass for a limited time. Not even exclusive, just a limited time.
That's correct.
Right? They would jump on that because they would get $1 billion. Again, I'm making all this shit up. Just
sure.
Right? As a theory, right? $1 billion up front, which we know Microsoft could afford. Okay.
Right. They're getting their money one way or the other.
And if it's only like a month, Rockstar will make their money back at the end of that month anyway, because people will buy it on PlayStation still. People will play the single player on Xbox, finish the story, and then they'll purchase the game to play it online, because we do know there's an online mode for this, right? That's going to be the biggest. It's going to be like an MMO. It's going to be insane. It's going to be a role-playing MMO. Yeah. Life sim, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Well, does it matter? Does it matter if you get the money up front or not? Does it matter?
I mean, it doesn't matter for them. They're going to make their money regardless.
Well, this is my point.
Both of them. Both of them will make their money regardless.
But you're not going to get the same number of sales because the number of consoles is not the same.
Right.
Total number of consoles out right now is less than when the other game came out. Total. It's less. Yep. So nobody transferred over. Nobody's spending money on it. The hardcore people are. People are going for the Switch because it's cheaper. Even though they raised the price, still cheaper.
Yeah, but now we have a question, because people are talking about how's this going to run, right? Because
on what? Run on what?
How's it going to run on the S?
It doesn't. Right?
Right? Is it going to be 30 frames? Is it going to be 60 frames?
It will stream from their servers to your console, but it's not running directly off the S. There's no fucking way. Sorry. Sorry.
Dude says people will buy consoles though for GTA. You're absolutely right. But is there going to be enough people to buy the more expensive consoles now?
You're not buying an X when I can get a PS5 for cheaper.
When Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, people were buying. That was at the tail end of the 360. The 360, okay, remember the 360, not the 360. Okay, so it came out on the 360 and the PlayStation 3 at the tail end of it, meaning there was well more consoles out there. And the console price wasn't $400 at that point. You could pick up a 360 5-6 years into the cycle at what, $250, $230. It's a completely different landscape now. Now you're asking people to buy a Xbox or a PlayStation that was cheaper just 6 months ago. PlayStation Pro's out now, and the PlayStation. No, and then now Xbox just a week ago, $500, now $720. $20 more than the Pro. And now you're asking people to buy a $700 device for one game. That's not a big sale for a lot of people. Nope, they weren't buying the system before that.
But I got a PC and I got a tablet and I got all this other stuff. So
yeah. It'll be very interesting to see. Right? I guess we can go to the next story. Let me see if I can find it with Where is the...
I'm gonna run on the S. Get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is what happened with the Series S for Cyberpunk when it came out, right?
Yeah,
I told people don't buy it on the old systems. It's not going to run on the old systems.
I want you guys to bookmark the video that was just released, the Grand Theft Auto. Make sure you bookmark it and make sure you copy the video into your hard drives. That way, when a year from now comes up and they start showing you the graphics on the systems are coming out, we're going to see if they match. We're going to see how the game looks.
I think people will look at this and a much more difficult choice now for a lot of people that are gamers that will look at this and go, am I going to pay $720 for an Xbox? Am I going to pay $700 to $800 for a PlayStation 5 Pro? Or do I invest in a PC where I can do more than game on a PC, right? I can do a whole bunch of other stuff on a PC than I can do on a console. So I don't know. I think
it's all coming out the same, bro.
What's that?
They're not waiting 6 months for PC, dude. It's coming all out the same.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you. I think because of the...
You think Microsoft, after knowing that no one's going to buy consoles, you think they're going to wait an additional 6 months for their people to actually start buying their product? No.
Well, here's a whole other thing, a conversation, right? For Xbox, obviously there's a stupid move, but again, maybe they're playing 4D chess about as raising their prices. But there's Game Pass on PC for $12, right?
Yeah.
Then there's Ultimate for $12. There's Ultimate on Xbox for the 35 million that's out there now for the people that own a console. Okay. And then there's Game Pass just out wherever that no one keeps track of, right? Because you can't keep track of it because you don't know who bought a Samsung TV, who bought an LG, who's playing on PC, who's playing. They're not going to share those numbers, right? So there's Game Pass here that we know about the PC players. There's the Game Pass here we know about the Xbox players. But then there's this giant question mark of...
The number keeps getting larger because people keep buying TVs and refrigerators.
Right, but nobody knows who's on that platform that can get Game Pass.
Well,
right?
that's just like saying we have 2 million players. You know, if I sell you a system that's got Game Pass in it, that I can count it as a player, right?
Right, and now they just added where if you own the game, right? If you own a game, not all the games are there yet, but you could play your games over through the cloud now. Okay, so I don't know if Grand Theft Auto is going to be... Yeah, but think about this. I don't know if Grand Theft Auto is going to be able to be played over the cloud on Xbox, right? But just picture this for a second.
We don't know if Grand Theft Auto is going to be able to play it on a normal system
No, but what I'm saying is just picture this for a second, where if Grand Theft Auto, you just buy Grand Theft Auto for the $80.
You mean
you don't own an Xbox, but you happen to have a Samsung television, or you have a PC that it's not really a gaming PC, but you can stream it from the cloud to put on your device. How many more sales are they going to make from that? Nobody knows because they're not keeping track. They're not even keeping track of the fucking consoles. You think they're keeping track of how many Samsung and LG TVs can play on a Fire Stick?
Well, let's just say this. Let's say for some crazy reason, everything that's possible on a smart TV, when it gets closer to the GTA release date, that you get a message on your TV that says, "Hey, if you want to play GTA 6 when it comes out, you can sign up to get it for a month from Game Pass, right? And somebody who doesn't even have a goddamn console at all,
no console, right,
can play it on their goddamn TV,
right?
Think about that for marketing, right? How many people have smart TVs?
It'd be very interesting, right? Fire Stick, Samsung, LG. It's a lot of
people, bro.
Unattainable numbers to know how many people are playing games and have Game Pass on these devices.
It would be like you signing up for Netflix for 3 months, right? All of a sudden, you can play GTA if you have a smart TV. The advertising comes up. GTA is coming on. Are you guys interested?
I mean, our friend who owned an Xbox One, okay, and when Starfield came out, he was playing Starfield on his old Xbox One through the cloud.
It had to be streaming from there. It
was streaming on an S. They have the S servers that stream to the Xbox Ones. But the fact that he was playing Starfield on his One through the cloud, and he was blown away. He's like, yeah, it runs really good on mine. Now, obviously, you have to have the internet and stuff for that, but it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here with Grand Theft Auto. Who has the marketing rights? How many copies are going to be sold?
Wait, and just for shits and giggles, you had said the Mafia game's coming out. Take-Two has a game coming out, so they didn't want to step on their own toes.
Right.
There's another reason why they delayed. Because they don't want to destroy. They don't want to.
Mafia would have two months ahead.
It's not the top reason. It's just in there with a pile of other things.
I think. Look, Rockstar's like, look, if we release it now or release it 6 months from now, it's not going to make any difference to us.
Bring up the list, bro. Bring up the list of games real quick. Bring up the list.
The list of what games?
The Rockstar games. The Take-Two games. The yellow background.
Yeah, I gotta open that up. I gotta find it in my files. Hold on.
Don't do it this second. You don't have to do it this second. But that just tells you everything you need to know. That doesn't matter. They know what they have. You know how much money GTA 5 made online. You know how much money it made, right? It doesn't matter, right? None of this matters because even if the game is woke as fuck and it's hiding all the bullshit that we all know may or may not be there, right? Even if it comes out like a Cyberpunk 2077, right? Because everybody in their mind right now is thinking this is going to be the greatest game ever made. Ever made. That's right. You keep saying it in your head, right? But it could also be a Cyberpunk 2077 because you don't know, right? You're just basing it off of your feelings about the game, right? But it doesn't matter. It could be the start. It's gonna make its money back just like Cyberpunk did. Just like Cyberpunk did.
I'm trying to get the last. I guess this is the one I got, which is this one. It's hilarious. 2019, but there's another game came out after that, right? Grand Theft Auto comes out in 2026, right? If you take the 12 years from this first Grand Theft Auto, 12 years to like here, it's like 30 games, okay? If you take the last 12 years, they got 3 games.
Yeah.
3 games. Because Grand Theft Auto 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Grand Theft Auto 6. That's it.
Yeah, the giant blank space you have in between there, they're making $1 billion a month.
Yeah.
They don't need to release a game.
Yeah, for 13 years, they got...
You're selling shark cards.
Yeah, they're making billions of dollars off of the shark cards and whatnot. Like I said, Rockstar's just like, yeah, we're okay. We'll release it in 2026. That's fine.
Right.
Can you imagine having that much power? And mind you, Grand Theft Auto 5 is still one of the 6 games that people play, right?
Yes.
Grand Theft Auto Online is that game with Call of Duty, Fortnite, Minecraft, Roadblocks, Grand Theft Auto, right? Grand Theft Auto has been on this list for the last 6 to 7 years, just in the top spot. Well, in one of those top games that people just keep playing, right? This is the next time you see this is when Grand Theft Auto 7 comes out 15 years from now, right?
We'll be alive, bro. There's not going to be a Grand Theft Auto. There'll be Grand Theft Auto World, and we won't be alive. Worlds,
yeah, it'll be online. They just keep adding to it, yeah. Which is also going to be insane.
Well, I think they're going to do that in this game.
That they are. Yeah, online is going to be in this game. Yeah, the worlds.
No, what I'm saying is it's going to be online. Then you're going to be able to go to other cities.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's people already breaking down the trailer. Did you see this? Hold on a second. I got to go back through.
Which part? I got the trailer in my head. Which part of the trailer?
No, it's not the trailer. The fans have already made a map and pinpointing everything from the trailer inside of this map. Okay, I gotta find it. My Discord is very
crowded.
Well, they're very active. For a small community, they're very active. So I gotta scroll back up and try to find the actual thing. Eclipse, do me a favor. Can you send me, because I know you're the one that posted it. Can you send me it again?
Which one?
The map of the. Oh wait, I think I got it.
I sent it to you.
No, Eclipse.
Oh, Eclipse.
Oh, I got it. Never mind. Here it is. Okay, so this is how crazy the internet is. Okay, so basically from the trailer, from the pictures and from the videos, they've pinpointed on this. This is the map, the leaked map of what the map would look like for the entire game. Okay, this is what it is. How big it is. Okay?
I got you.
Now, from all the trailers and stuff, they pinpointed all the points of interest on the actual map of where they actually filmed from, right? So
they don't know that.
They do.
How do you know that's where the pinpoint is?
Because they know the geographic of where the thing is, from what direction it's looking at, and they can know that if this is South Beach and the pier is here, then they know that, okay, if the camera's facing this way and the Ferris wheel's this way, then they know over here is where the thing is, right? This is how crazy Grand Theft Auto fans are. I'm aware They're breaking it down piece by piece, right? Look how big this map is, Sarge. If this is the map.
There's a whole lot of nothing there, bro.
Right? If there's a
whole lot of nothing in between.
Well, there's a whole lot of nothing because we don't know what's in the game yet.
Well, they know everything, bro. They're pinpointing.
Well, they haven't shown this yet.
I get it. There's Orlando's up there too, bro.
Yeah,
Orlando's
right
up there. No, it's
actually it would be up here
further. Yeah,
it would be up here. Yeah, because this is like Lake Okeechobee, so it'd be up here, right? So George is up here.
That's a week Lake Okeechobee.
Right? Imagine going to this place over here. What is this place over here?
I don't know, but it's the first place I'm going to go.
This island right here has got something.
How long does it take you to run across the map?
This place right here has got some secrets on it. That's all I'm saying right here. UFO, ghost, something's going to happen there. Okay? It's insane the amount of the detail that's going to be in this game. And your computer's going to melt. Your Xbox is going to melt. Something's going to melt.
I expect the fan to be running at full blast the entire time.
It's going to sound like a jet engine. Just melting.
I saw the graphics and the reflection.
Frying chicken on top of their consoles.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely going to be frying chicken on top of your console.
Yep.
You're going to have to put it directly under your AC vent. Wherever you have your Xbox or PlayStation, you have to put it directly under the AC vent.
All right. Kojima is talking about that GTA. Look, it's official. We always talk about how, jokingly, we're like, people move their game away from Grand Theft Auto's launch, right?
Of course.
So much so, Kojima came out and said, yeah, we moved our game that was supposed to be in September, and we pushed it up till June. Okay? To June. He pushed it up time to get away from.
Now you can relax a little bit. You don't have to push it up to June.
Well, I think he's still releasing in June, but
doubtful.
This is what happens in the gaming industry with a game like this, right? And again, you're not doing this for like small increments, right? If like Call of Duty was at the same time, you move it up to like 2 weeks, right? Not 3 months, right? You don't move 3 months ahead of the actual game because others are coming out. So he confirms basically that, yeah, look, corporations, other game developers, they shift and move. And like I said earlier, everyone in the gaming industry took this deep sigh of relief. They're like, oh, thank God. Grand Theft Auto's coming out in 2026. We can actually release our game and make money this year. Right? So they're thankful for that. Right? Another thing that's happening, Sarge, is Gears of War. The next Gears of War Reloaded comes.
This makes me laugh, bro. This makes me laugh so hard.
Xbox comes to Xbox Series XS, Xbox PC, Xbox Cloud Gaming, PlayStation 5, and Steam in summer of 2025. And people are losing their minds because, well, it's going on PlayStation 5, right?
Who cares?
And they're like, oh my God, how can you do this to me? I'm such a fan of Xbox. How can you put it out? And I'm like, does it affect you? I don't understand. Does it affect you that someone else can play the game?
It's great that people who are just diehard PlayStation people can now play Gears of War. That's a good thing.
Could you imagine, Sarge, back when we were younger kids and we used to play games in the arcade? Yep. And then you could play those games from the arcade at your house.
Yep.
And a multi-platform game. What was an arcade game like Street Fighter, NFL Blitz?
That was a huge one. Street Fighter was a
Mario, Killer Instinct. Can you imagine us melting our brains going, I can't believe it's in the arcade. This is exclusive. Like, what are we talking about? Right? Like, more games, more places. Let me play where I want to play. If I want to go to the arcade and put a fucking quarter in the machine and play Killer Instinct, or if I want to pay $60 for the game and play it in my house on the actual thing. Like, I'm so confused by this new age of people that play video games that like strap on. Is there somebody out there that's like, arcade, bro? I love arcades. Any game that left arcade is just shit. Like, oh, they left my Like, what are we talking about?
An arcade now only has driving games and redemption games. That's
redemption tickets. That's all it is, right?
Just redemption driving tickets. Games and redemption tickets. Listen, I'm ecstatic that people that are on PlayStation and are diehard PlayStation people get to play Xbox games. What's the difference? What's the
best part is it's $40. Gears of War Reloaded launches August 26th for $40.
It's not costing them anything.
Right. $40 on the Xbox Series S.
What do you think it's costing Microsoft to re-release Gears on PlayStation for $40? As far as I'm concerned, $40 is pure profit. Just pure profit. So it doesn't matter how much they sell. It's pure profit.
I just love all the people that bitch about like exclusivity and how they get that, and now they feel betrayed. And it's like, tell me you didn't game in the past and know anything about multiplat of when it used to be on an Apple IIc, and then it was also on another computer, and then it was also on a console, and it was also in the arcade.
You hoped it came out on a system that you owned.
Yeah,
you hoped, right? Because the games that came, because they played the same thing back when we were younger, bro. The publishers would buy the license for a game from the arcade people and make their version on the console. Not everybody got it because you have to buy the license, right? And so Double Dragon in the arcade, you were excited when you got Double Dragon and the console, but your console version Double Dragon was garbage compared to Double Dragon.
It was garbage arcade. Compared to the arcade. Yeah,
right? It was garbage. But they threw the name on a box and you bought it. So what's the difference? So now, X number of years later, these tried and true games that were fun as fuck back in the day, they get to play. What's the difference? It's good. It's good for everybody. As a matter of fact, I want to see if there's any kind of reciprocation on the part of Sony where they go, throw them a bone, right? They go, all of a sudden somebody goes, throw them a bone. Give them God of War. Kiss the ring. Like, you throw like one main title out there just to see how it warms up. And then when you get a good reception for it, you're like, well, maybe we could do business later. Maybe next time I give you a better game. Maybe I give you something like Crash Bandicoot, right? And who the fuck wants Crash Bandicoot? Right? Give me a better game.
What I find funny, and again, for the console warriors out there, the ones that have Team Blue or Team Green on there, and they're upset that someone gets a game or doesn't get a game, and now people that are on Team Blue are making fun of Team Green because their games are coming to their thing, but yet Team Blue is buying Team Green's games on their Blue thing, and they're making fun of Team Green, right? And I'm like, you do understand that the money that you pay for those games goes towards Team Green, right? You understand that? And they're like, yeah, but we have a console and they don't. And it's like, the money's in publishing. The money's always been in publishing.
Yes.
It's not been in the console market. That's just, you have to sell in the past, you had to sell your shit at a loss so you can make money on the software. Hence, Crazy Uncle Nintendo knows this. Hence why Crazy Uncle Nintendo made a shit ton of money off the software and not off the hardware themselves, right? So I always find it funny where these console warriors are they're literally battling for plastic boxes, but Microsoft just said we just want profit. We just want profit.
Yeah.
We don't have to make a package anymore. We don't have to print a disc. right? You're downloading it off an actual thing.
No book.
Right?
No book, no box, no nothing.
Yeah. Well, you say it's a free 30% for PlayStation. It's a free 70% for Xbox. They're not shipping anything. They're just putting it on the system. They're like, here you go, play it. We don't care, right? And obviously, there's people on PlayStation that are like, oh, wait, I get to play a good game of Indiana Jones or Forza Horizon or Doom or whatever. They just want a game. It makes no sense to me. They're like, you got to fight. Like, what?
Nate,
makes no sense.
Let's be real, Nate. Think about it just for a moment, right? I know everybody's got the number in their head, what they need every month to live. If you don't have that number in your head, you probably should start working on it. But everybody's got the number in their head, what they need to live. If you really wanted a PC, right? Like, I know it might be overwhelming for some people. It was overwhelming for me for a while. Like, if you really wanted a PC, you just put $100 away a month, right? That's it. $100 away a month, right? And if you want to break it down to yourself a little bit smaller, $25 a week, right? And do what I did, which was I said I was going to do something. I was going to buy something. And then I said, no, I'm not going to do this because I want a PC. And then I just transfer that money into an account, right? You don't need a lot of money for a PC. It's going to get to the point where the prices of the cards are going to come back down, man. And for $1,700, $2,200, you got a decent machine and you can upgrade it later, right? So if you really want a PC, you can get one. Right? It's not one of these things where it's out of reach, right? Everyone just needs to budget a little bit better.
I mean, at this point, if you have an Xbox and a PlayStation 5, not obviously you already own yours, but if you're a person that had to buy a PlayStation and an Xbox, you might as well just buy a PC. You might as well just buy a PC. One, you're just paying for your internet. You don't have to pay for a service afterwards, right? You could play Xbox games if you want to just buy Xbox games. You could buy PlayStation games because you just buy PlayStation games. You can play Nintendo games if you know what you're doing, okay? And you have the PC games. It's all in one thing, and you're gonna be much happier with if you're a gamer over there than you would be on the console buying every single console. Xbox is pushing their base to console. It's undeniable, 100%, right? Because they're not selling the consoles. I've been saying this for years, El Nini. They're selling Game Pass. They're selling a service. They want to just recoup the recurring money, right? Like, look, Netflix is not making DVD players, right? Netflix is not making DVD players. Netflix just said, let's take our app and put it everywhere. Thumb drives, consoles, smartphones, television sets, PCs. Netflix is not investing in a physical box. That would be fucking retarded, right? So they just say, we're just going to take an app and put it everywhere.
Yeah, but
that's what Xbox is doing.
But you guys are not counting. But everyone's not really looking at it the same way anymore. Everyone's looking at selling units. How many units did you sell? That's great. But a lot of these games, inside the unit itself, there's a store, there's something to buy, there's skins, there's other things. So the money being made from the unit itself far outweighs the actual price of the unit sold, right? So if I sell a game for $60, but it has a store inside there, or for whatever reason has things I can buy inside the game, whether it be skins or whatever, right? The amount of money I'm paying into that far outweighs what I paid for the game. So they're making money on top of money per unit. It's not just the unit anymore, right? So when you say they sell less units, sure, it sounds bad initially, but what that really means is we just sold less banks, right? Otherwise, the banks are still there. So if I make 3 times a game or 4 times a game, but I sell twice, but I only sell half as many games, still making as much money, still making it, right? Everything else beyond that, beyond the what's the word they use? The not the assumed sales. What is it called? Our expectations. Our expectations, right?
Okay.
If it's beyond the expectations, that just means it's gravy money, right? My expectations was 3 million units. Still a big deal. 3 million units. We only sold 1.5 million units. It's horrible. Meanwhile, each game was made $300 a piece.
Right.
Our expectations are hitting like a motherfucker. I don't know what you're talking about. It's not about unit price anymore.
I like how Roadkill says, just because Xbox failed Don't try to push everybody to PC. PlayStation is the master race.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. Sounds like what a PC person would say, considering that Xbox, PlayStation, and PC games are all on PC. You know when someone makes a game for PC, just PC, you don't see them pushing it out to consoles. It's just on PC. But consoles, they're starting to push all their games over to PC because why? There's not enough people buying the games over on the console side. These are facts. You could be delusional and think that that's happening over there, but the actual thing that's happening is less and less people are buying games over on the console side. Doesn't matter if it's Xbox, doesn't matter if it's PlayStation, less people are buying console games. Why? Free-to-play games, live service games, services itself.
I'm going to ask you guys a question because I don't want to fall into the trap because I don't buy mobile games. I fell into that trap a long time ago and I just stopped. However, I just want to ask 2 questions for anyone that's playing any kind of mobile games. Has anybody seen this High Seas Hero game where the battleship's down there and you're fighting a bunch of monsters on in the ocean? Did you guys see this? Right? I'm just curious. Is it an ad fest and just sells my information to China? I just need to know because I want to press install, but I'm like, I'm not going to do it. But it looks cool. It does look cool for a mobile.
Did you see this game? This wasn't on the docket, but somebody. Yeah. Oh, right. This check this out, Sarge. This is a, you know me, Sarge. I love my sim games. Love my sim games. Simulator games, doesn't matter what it is.
3 Point Museum?
No. Like simulator games, okay? This is Superhero Simulator. Okay, check this out. Oh wait, can you guys can't hear it, can you? Hold on one second. Let me let me fix that for you. Hold on. Stop that. Share screen. This is Superhero Sim. Okay. Here we go. Let me start it over. All right, this is called Superhero Simulator.
A comic book so far.
What time is it?
It's 8 o'clock, you fucktard. It's right there.
Oh, I slept too much. I need to check the crime rate.
Check the crime rate like it's a thermostat.
Oh, damn it.
Forget Cheerios. I gotta go stop crime. I didn't know you had to punch in to be a hero. What the hell is he rushing for?
The crime rate, Sarge. The crime rate's up.
Of course it leaves by the roof.
The weather is good today. Let's see what we have. I gotta go.
I mean, I give it a try.
It's on Steam.
It reminds
so
me
you can see a little bit of gameplay at the end there.
Freedom Force. It reminds me of Freedom Force.
Yeah.
That's all it reminds me of.
I like people trying different things. I like that it's a comic book type of style, cell shade. People I have no problem because it's superheroes. It fits that mold. You know what I mean? I don't know. I thought it was interesting. Obviously, it could be a shit game or it could be amazing, right? But I do like.
We're very harsh in this room. Like people see a game, they're gonna pick A or B. There's no on the fence here.
No. But this right here is 100% a PC type of game, right? Like when I say there's 19,000 games that came out last year, that's 19,000 games that came out on PC. Okay,
right. Not on Xbox. We ain't got time.
Not on Xbox or PlayStation combined.
Time with that mess.
Right? Nobody has. They're not doing that, right? Most people make games for PC, right? So if you're an independent developer, you're usually making your game just for PC because that's a huge market, billions of people. Okay. And, you get a couple 100,000 people to buy your game as a small independent developer. That'd be
great.
That's fantastic, right?
Great.
So,
like, I'm sure the guy that made Tunic is doing very well.
Oh yeah, it's a great game. Great game.
Right. I'm sure. Right. No, I'm sure as his life is doing well. Like, I'm sure. He put that money away. He's doing okay now.
So, real quick, sales numbers that came out so far. Okay, we know Monster Hunter was number 1, right? We know Assassin's Creed was number 2, supposedly. Okay, but they still haven't shown actual numbers.
No sales numbers.
Right?
Yet.
Oblivion Remastered, already the 3rd best-selling game on 2025 in the U.S. industry.
So really, it's analysts, number 2. So really, it's
analysts
number 2.
say. Okay,
so really, it's just number 2.
But it's just in the U.S. We know that Expedition 33 has sold 2 million copies. That's not including the people that are playing it on Game Pass or whatnot, but it's 2 million people actually bought it. Okay. And we know that Split Fiction just surpassed 4 million copies sold for them, right?
That's really good for them.
Yeah. What's the coincidence here, Sarge? What do these 3 games have in common? Do you know?
I mean, I'm sure I'm being tricked. I'm just going to say no.
Okay.
I don't know what the similarity is.
Oblivion, $50.
Okay.
Expedition, $50.
Okay.
Split Fiction, $50. Right?
Okay.
All 3 games are $50, and they're all selling very well, right? And they probably didn't cost $300 million to make.
True.
Right? So Expedition 33, getting that money up front from Game Pass, from Microsoft, we don't know what that money is. Maybe half, maybe 3/4, right? Maybe the fucking whole thing. Who knows? Okay. And they got 2 million copies sold on top of that, right? So even if they got 1/3 of their money up front and then they went on to sell 2 million copies, they're probably already making bank or profit for that studio, right? With 33 employees, and for what the budget of that game was, which is less than 100 million. People are saying it's around like 50 to 60, 70 million, something like that, between that ballpark. So they're making profit soon. Okay. Split Fiction, 4 million copies sold. And I just love his whole way he does his games. Buy it once, $50, and I can play it with you. Or then I can decide to play it with somebody else. It's like buy it once, 2 people can play the game.
Well, but what that really says is you're shortchanging yourself half the people who play the game. But at the same time, their budget allows it.
Right, because they're not $300 million budgets, right?
Right.
So, and let's go with, let's see what else we have. We have a couple stories. Baldur's Gate 3 developer comes out. It's not really a story. It's just more of a talking point here.
So he comes out and I'm sorry. How long is Expedition 33?
I don't know. Some people are 70, 80 hours in.
Is it like a Final Fantasy type game?
Yeah, some people are playing for 80 hours right now. Yeah. It's pretty long.
I'm trying to budget my next couple of weeks. I want to see if I can have some time. Because on Game Pass, right?
I don't know if it's just a main story. I'm about 20 hours in myself. Right? So I don't know if you can just beeline the main story if you want, if you don't have to do the side quests or whatnot. But so a developer, the CEO of Larian Studios, what's his name? Vic, right? This man is just based every single time he comes out and says something. You're like, he's like the prophecy, right? You're like, how is this guy the only person in the industry that's saying these things and everybody else is just a greedy scumbag, right? He comes out and says, look, developers should give fans a license to make mods, okay, rather than shutting down their work, all right? And this is true, right? You should embrace the people that love your game, right? One, they're not on your payroll, okay?
Right.
2, they're just very passionate people that want to do they want to do good because they love your game. They want to add more to it.
Their purpose is to make a game better, and you should never shit on people who want to have purpose.
Eclipse is the main story is about 30 hours. There you go.
Okay.
Right. So if a person wants to make a mod for you, let them. What's going to happen? It brings more people to your game. Right. Look at Skyrim over all these years. The people that make for the creation engine. Right. People love those mods. Right. And what the people are modding for Starfield and people modding for other games. People are modding for Expedition 33. Right. Like there's people making mods for things Let them do it. Why stop them? Because if a corporation comes out,
I can tell you.
Well, they're greedy fuckers. They want to make as much.
It's not.
It is for the corporations, 100%.
Well, you can say it's greed, but what it really is if you have an outside entity that is making content for the game that you worked on for the last 5 to 7 years, right? They're not beholden by any boss or anything else. They're just making a mod.
Right.
If they come out with something that makes you look bad because you spent 5 years doing it, you couldn't do it as good as this guy's doing in his garage, right? They can't defend that. You can't defend some guy who can beat you at your own game, no pun intended, who can do better at you at programming your own game, and you're not paying them. You have no control of those people, so it makes you look bad, right? And then people ask all these questions, and especially today with Reddit and all these other web pages that go on, you got people crawl into your DMs. Hey, bro, why don't you make the game like this? Huh? Look at this guy. Look what this guy did. How come he didn't make it like this? And you want to deal with that 24/7 for a year, right? So it's just easier to say, you guys can't make anything for us. Just shut the fuck up. It's just easier. It's just easier. However, I agree. If you're good enough, sell them a license, right? Let them be part of the team. If they qualify themselves, fucking hire them. Like,
well, I don't
understand how this doesn't work for both parties in a positive way.
But this is what Bethesda's doing, right? Bethesda lets certain people make the content for them, and they get paid. They get paid when they sell it inside the creation store.
Fantastic. That's how it should be.
Right. Make mods.
And if the kid's good enough, let's say it's a 13-year-old who's a prodigy, who's just good at it. When he turns of age, send him a fucking application. Give the kid a job. How else do you think you're supposed to find these people, right? You make a game. Somebody finally loves your game, and all of a sudden you notice that all these cool things come out for your game, and the kid's like 15 or 18 or some shit. Like, see what the kid does. Right? You guys are always looking for talent. You made a game that pulled talent out of the fucking wilderness and is spending time on your game. Fucking get him in.
Dark Taco says exactly why Rockstar bought 5M role-playing modders, because the ego couldn't handle people making better content than them. No. It wasn't about the ego. It was about they're making money and we want to make more money. That's exactly why they did that, right? Why have a person out there that's making the money off of your game where you could just buy them and then make that money off the game? Because now what they could do is, if someone else comes out, because now they have the role-playing people on their team, right, and they have control of it. Now if someone else tries to come out with something, then they can crush them like the roaches they are, because they have the people on their team now that make the best role-playing for them. They were greedy. They're like, wait a minute, how do we make more money from this billion-dollar corporation that we've made? Right? Well, there's a role-playing server out there that people are doing. You can make a lot of money on that in the next Grand Theft Auto.
Corpo's going to corpo, bro. That's why you don't give them money.
Yep.
If someone gets too big for their britches, the only thing you have to say is not to buy something. That's all you can say. You can't be shocked or offended or get some backlash. None of that shit matters.
Yeah, 100%.
None of that shit affects the company. Yeah. You not buying their shit and erasing it from your hard drive. That's a message.
Right.
That's the only message you can send.
There's Battlefield news, but I'm not going to talk about it yet. We kind of talked about it a little bit. The last thing I want to talk about, Sarge, is this thing here, which is, let me bring it up. Share screen. This is the future, right? But it's so impractical. Okay, this is a hover bike, and I'm not going to play the sound because you don't hear anything. It's literally a jet engine, but it's covered by music to cover up the sound of the engine, right? So you don't actually hear the engine. They just have music playing in the background. So I saw this. You sent this to me, Sarge, right? And I was just like, this is fucking cool, right? This is cool.
This is the
unpractical for like normal everyday user.
This is a speeder bike for Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. Right? It's not propeller. It's not riding a drone here. This is a jet engine underneath, okay, that's being propelled by this thing, okay, which is just insane. Okay, look at the small little bike, and it's got the engine underneath it. Can you imagine this is just impractical? Like Like you got to go to work, and I was like, it's just this jet engine, right?
It doesn't matter if it's practical. It matters that it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing because it's here.
Do you understand how happiness comes in small doses as you get older? Right? You eat the cookie, right? You sleep with your wife or your girlfriend. Happiness comes in small doses. Every time I see something that's from my childhood that we saw in some kind of sci-fi movie that is now a reality, right? It brings back a little piece of my childhood that I thought was dead. And it brings it back, and I'm saying, that's fucking amazing.
Do you remember in the back of any kind of comic back in the day, Mad Magazine and stuff like that?
X-ray glasses?
They had like the X-ray glasses, and they had that...
Three pairs.
They had the floating like chair that you could buy, and they would sell you the plans, and then you would build this. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It was my dream as a kid to save up to get the plans so I could fly just as high as this guy's doing, okay? And now I'm 46 years old, going to be 47 on Monday, and here it fucking is.
That's what I'm saying.
It's fucking here.
It's
That's
real.
mind-blowing to me.
That's real.
Okay.
Look at it. Look at the stability. I want to keep saying it's fake, right? How is he so stable?
I mean, it's just look at the power. Look at the power of that engine.
Look at the power. It's incredible.
I mean, you've seen the guys with the backpacks on, right? With the on their arms, and they're flying around
things,
with the Iron Man type of stuff.
That's like basic level stuff, though, bro.
Oh no, they have an Iron Man suit.
No, I know. But I'm saying when I look at that, that's like basic level stuff. They're trying to get people to used to moving around how your arm, because how are you supposed to fire a weapon if your arms are the jets?
Right.
Right. You have to be able to fire weapons.
You have to get in there, drop down, and then pull your gun.
Yeah.
Unless you're wearing like a sensor on your head, and then it shoots. You know what I mean?
Shoulder mounted.
Yeah, wherever you're looking. Yeah.
Right. I mean,
like War Machine.
Now, well, let's look at it this way. Let's take the Boston Dynamic dog, put a gun on it, and throw him on that machine right there. And what do you got?
God.
Yeah. Now you got.
You got Terminator.
Now
What you got? You got Terminators.
That's correct. You got Terminator.
Yeah, man. I just seeing stuff like this, like, I don't know, man. It just the future is crazy.
But let's put it this way: when you see something like that and they make it look cool, like, ooh, that's a guy with a motorcycle helmet. I could get that one day. And you're like, no, that's in the military, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If they're showing this to us now,
that's a military thing, right?
What the fuck do they have?
Yeah, they got military. Yeah.
Right. If there's another Mission Impossible movie coming out, all turn, Tom Cruise would get on this thing. This would be in the next Mission Impossible film.
Yeah, he'd escape on this.
And he would be like, yeah, I did this trick, and I was on this thing. We were going like 240 miles an hour, and I leaped off it onto a, you're like, what the? You crazy bastard. I'm excited to see that movie, by the way. I'm excited to see that movie. The last Mission Impossible movie.
It's the only movie I think in the last couple of years that I want to see in the theater.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it.
It's at the end of the month, right? It's the end of this month.
It's summer. Yeah, it's like May.
No, it's the end of this month.
Well, yeah, the end of this May. Yeah.
Yeah, summer doesn't start till June 21st. That's summer.
I'm
sorry.
22nd.
You're going to just move calendar numbers around and call it the season whenever
I thought it was May 22nd, wasn't it?
No. June 21st is the first day of
all,
summer.
The summer movies starts in May.
That's because they tell you summer movies start in May. That's
what
not
it
what
is. It's a summer movie.
is. It's not fucking
it's a summer movie. When kids get out of school, it's summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The theory, it's summer. And remember, when we got out of school when we were younger, up north, you got out in June.
Yeah. Not
so then,
here.
it would be summer.
Yeah. Not here. All right, chat. Ask your questions. We'll take some questions for a couple minutes, and then we'll go over for the next 15 or so. If you have a question, put a Q in front of your question, and we'll answer some of your questions.
And also, we need to start a thread in Discord, and we need to put down 2 questions. One is, what do you believe the cost of the GTA Deluxe Edition is going to be? I want everyone's actual guess in there. And then the second one is, when do you think the game's actually coming out?
I was thinking that it gets delayed again.
I mean,
I think it gets pushed back to October next year, 2026.
I don't think so.
No, you think it comes out May 26th?
It's coming out. That date was definitive.
So was Starfield 11/11/2022.
Yeah, but the reason why it's not definitive in that aspect, the game was supposed to come out this year. It was a done deal. It was coming out. Everyone knew it. Okay? Them delaying it, we already discussed at the beginning of the show why they delayed it. And they didn't say delayed, they didn't say delayed to the summer. They just said May 26, like they had it. This is it. This is where we're going.
Well, look, I don't believe anything. I don't cash a check until it's in my hand. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's because some moron gave you a post-dated check. When I get
a
check,
I worked in the
motherfucker.
No, it's because I worked in the film industry, and when someone handed you a check, you didn't know if you could cash it. So because there's some shady ass people out there. But so when someone puts $1,000 in your hand, you're like, oh, I got $1,000. Not until you cash that check, right? So I don't cash the check. I don't think May 26th is the final date. I think something happens or something gets pushed back. Maybe it doesn't go to October, but it doesn't hit May 26th. Something's going to happen. Listen, what about if enough consoles don't sell? Maybe the market's not big enough. They're like, we got to delay another 6 months.
You think they're waiting for consoles to be sold?
If there's not enough people to sell the thing, they want more of a market.
They are selling that game for $100.
Oh, of course they are. No, I get that.
Shot.
What I'm saying is, if there's only 100, I said this earlier, if there's only 100 million units out there, that's 20 million less people that could buy their game because they're not selling on PC day and date.
But they're making 30% more. They're fine.
Sure. If it's coming day and date on PC, then sure, the whole fucking market's open. Go ahead and release it.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna do.
Well, we'll
There's
see.
not gonna be. You would have if it had released this year, you would have waited a year for PC. Now that you have to wait a year again for this damn game, PC is coming out at the same time because they needed all hands on deck. They needed as much copies to be sold immediately because when it
so you agree with me
because when it pulls its Cyberpunk problem, and that's gonna be my guess because you don't tell me that's running that way. It's not running that way on a console. Sorry.
Maybe it will run
not
like
running that way
on
on a console.
Maybe it'll run like that on the X and the PlayStation 5 Pro, but it won't run like that on the S.
Well, that's not even part of the conversation about the potato, right? The potato's not even on the map for this conversation.
What about the handheld, Sarge? They showed the handheld. We didn't even bring that up. There's a handheld they showed.
The leak handheld.
The leak handheld with the Xbox
with the chicken grease on it.
Yeah, with the fingerprints all over the screen.
There were so many fingerprints. It looked like somebody had manhandled it with both their hands and their feet and never grabbed it by the handle.
There's so many smudges. Let me see if I can bring the picture up of this thing.
It's disgusting, first of all.
Like the person that took the picture of this was probably rushing. They were rushing. They're like, I got to take the picture of this, get it on the internet as fast as possible. Right? Like, take your shirt and get your greasy chicken finger hands off of this thing. Look at this.
Like, there's so many fingerprints on that thing that if I got a high-res picture of it, I can identify the kid who took the damn unit.
Here, hold on a second. Look at this. Stop screen share.
You can zoom in if you get a good still frame and a good monitor and high-res that. You can pull the fingerprint right off the goddamn
Yeah, that's
screen.
what I said. Look how much grease is on this guy's hands.
We can identify.
You couldn't take your shirt and just do this.
We can identify the person who actually stole this. No problem.
You can follow him back to his house. His fingerprints are all over.
The one
this
on the
thing.
right is the perfect finger. You see that one on the right by the right stick? You see that the perfect fingerprint right there?
But like, get that. I wonder who took this picture of this thing. He's like, what is this? Oh my god, is this the X? Click, 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 click.
Oh my god, what is this?
Right? It's even worse on the black one. Look at the black.
Look at it, man.
It's even worse on the black one.
It looks like it was pulled out of the trash, bro. You can see the reflection of him holding his phone in the reflection of the screen.
You get his whole identity, his finger. You can get his identity, like everything.
Yeah, right. Exactly, El Nini. Nobody cares.
Who took this picture?
Like, how on the go do you want me? Like, on the go? Come on, bro.
Like, what is happening? All right.
Let's fast forward just 5 years, right? Every fucking hotel in this country is gonna have a smart TV in it. Every fucking hotel. I'm gonna walk into a hotel with my fucking phone, with my
just like you can with Netflix. Yeah,
with my Game Pass subscription on my phone. Click onto the TV, use my phone as the controller. I'm playing my own Xbox games and a TV in a hotel from 3,000 miles away. It's not going to matter. Do you think I need to buy a fucking handheld? What is wrong with you fucking people?
Yeah. Well, on the train. What about if you're on the train, right? There's people that travel on trains and stuff.
How far away from your devices do you need to be before you go into fucking panic mode? That you can't play something that you don't own. Get the fuck out of here, man. Please.
All right, let's read some questions here. First question we have is Water Bear says, why does Tom Cruise always run in Mission Impossible movies? No.
Because it's hilarious.
He runs in all his movies.
Yeah, all his movies he runs. Yeah, it's hilarious.
He's always
because
he's got that.
Yeah, he runs to the point where you think he's running faster than his torso, so it kind of looks like this.
Yeah, he looks like he's moving, man. He's moving. Right?
And they have to get that special camera on the train tracks.
It's called a dolly, and they also use it's also they use drones now, much easier.
I would think so. It's a delaying track. Yeah, I think that would be fucking much easier.
Yeah, much easier with the drones now because they're super stable. Like even on the tail end of me working in the film industry, the only difference is you can't have lines when we use the drone indoors because they make too much noise. But you could get a walking shot through the house or whatever.
Yeah, but you can record the sound different.
Yeah, you would record that. You would do a shot with just the audio as they walk through, and then you would do a shot of just them walking through. Yeah,
and just sync it up.
ADR. Yeah, you do ADR. All right, next question. Dupla says, will the Destiny 2 Star Wars expansion tickle your fancy any bit to check it out? No.
Get this off the screen. Get this question off the screen.
Sorry, nope. I have no interest in in Destiny. I actually said this on my morning show, Duplass. I think Destiny has lost its identity as far as it waters down the brand of both Destiny and Star Wars because Destiny shouldn't have Star Wars in there. But that's just my take. Next question. Sorry. Travis says, if GTA 6 is bad, would it matter, or will players buy it regardless to say it's good, just to say it's good?
Cyberpunk 2077, end of story.
Yeah, a game like Grand Theft Auto 6
doesn't matter.
Or I should say Grand Theft Auto. It doesn't matter if it's a good game. It's a fun game, meaning that I can choose what I want to do in the game. If I want to take a car and drive around the open world, or take a plane, or murder everybody on the map, or take a yacht, or take a jet ski, or do whatever, play the story, I can do what I want in that game, and that's what people want. The freedom to just do whatever. And that's why people like that type of game. That's why the online's been around for 12 years.
I'm not hypnotized by Grand Theft Auto 6, by the way. I've already said my piece on what I think is going to happen, but I'm going to let this game play out.
Let me see. I'll get the next question.
I'm not in the honeymoon phase of GTA, believe me.
Water Bear says, do you truly believe that GTA 6 gets day one PC release because those graphics are not console quality? That's PC. I mean, they said it was. I agree,
and yes.
They said it was PC. They said it was console.
They say a lot.
Well, I know. A lot. I only can go based on what they're saying. I can call bullshit. Absolutely. It all depends, Water. It's not. We kind of already answered this because it all depends. Again, there's not enough consoles out in the market that were there the last time Grand Theft Auto came out. And if there's not enough, that's why they're waiting until May. Holiday sales come, people buy consoles and stuff like that. If that number gets up high enough,
PlayStation doesn't raise the price.
Right.
You know people are buying PlayStation.
If that number gets high enough, I say they do. They release it in May and it doesn't release on PC. But if that number's low, I think they change their plan and go, we don't have enough consoles out there, we have to release it on PC. I think it changes. It's not a simple yes or no answer right now.
They're releasing on PC.
Next question, Altern says, what would make you buy GTA 6 day one if it's is it made a mission type, a $60 price tag? I would have to see some gameplay. That's basically it. If they show me gameplay and the gameplay sells me, I love Red Dead Redemption 2. I love Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm a big fan of Rockstar Games. I just got to see gameplay, like actual gameplay, not is that gameplay? Like show me gameplay, show me the actual thing, and that's all I need to see, Altern. If it looks good, I'll buy it. If it doesn't look good, I'll wait. Yeah, what about you, Sarge?
I don't think I'm buying this game day one. First of all,
I believe that. I believe that
because if I want that game to look the way it looks, I'll just wait for the PC version, which will be day one. But I won't get it day one.
Well, I said the other day, I was like, oh man, I was like, I might wait for PC because I am saving up for a new PC.
There is zero reason, and I will say this every day. There is zero reason to buy anything day one.
I waited 13 years. Why can't I wait 14 years?
Don't care.
You know what?
I don't. My brain doesn't. The wiring for fear of missing out isn't there anymore. I don't care. The only thing that happens if I don't buy it day one is it's a better game.
Altern says, how long until the goalpost gets destroyed again? I'm going to say Monday.
I don't know. How much bullshit do you guys talk in a fucking chat in the morning? Yeah. Making shit up as you go to move the goddamn goalpost.
I'll say Monday. Probably Monday it'll get destroyed again. Salty says, what are your thoughts on Mafia Old Country from the new release game trailer? We watched it this morning at the tail end. I have to say, just quick reference, Salty, I thought it looked like Indiana Jones, third-person Indiana Jones, right? Like, it looked graphically like Indiana Jones type of stuff. The stealthy, walking around, stabbing people type of thing. It looks good. It looks good. I like the other past Mafia games, so I'm not excited.
But this one, they went back in time. It's like a prequel.
Yeah, the Old Country. Yeah,
the time period is like the.
That's why I said it feels like Indiana Jones. It's like, yeah, it was probably in like the 40s.
Well, 50s. those are Model Ts and the cars. So it's got to be between 1904 and 1915, probably.
You think it's earlier than that? Yeah, I guess.
Well, because the other Mafia game that came out was in the 20s. So
that's true. So if it was Old Country, it would be back. Yeah, right? yeah. Yep, you're right. Krebsy says, does trailer 2 make you think that Jason is an undercover cop, former correction officer, parole officer, or rock star, letting you play out a cop for the first time through
I heard you
talking
talking this morning. I'll tell you what mine is because I already know yours.
Yeah.
Right. She's the cop.
Yep.
Right. He says he's military, but we're gonna know right away, and I'll tell you two reasons. If he's actually military, we'll know by what he does in the cutscenes. If he acts like he's military, right? Because you could say he's military. People say he's a biker gang guy, but he seems a little too smart to be that way. He's ripped, which means he worked out long before that. So he was in jail.
I think the tattoo on his arm means he's military.
He was in jail before. That's why he's ripped. Because between the military and him being in jail, that's why he's ripped. She's a cop. She's undercover. She went to jail to get credit. She went deep undercover to get street cred. That's why she's in jail. They had met prior to her going to jail. Yeah, and they probably love each other. And now that she's out of jail again, they actually want to start their life again. But all this other shit happens in between. And then you're going to get to the point where I agree with you, where you're going to have a point at the end where it comes out and you're going to find out who the actual traitor is. Yeah. If she's gonna follow her job, or if she's gonna go with the man.
Right, go with Jason. Yeah, I think she's the cop. I think that. Yeah, I think she's the cop. I think she's undercover. She got busted, got into there. She's deep undercover. She's back out, trying to find not Jason, but using Jason to get in to find some other organization type of thing, and then he's gonna find out that she lied to him this entire time, and he doesn't know. You know, the same old shit that happens in a lot of other things. That's what I feel is going to happen.
Girl drama.
Yeah. Krebsy says, do you think GTA 6 trailer 2 is doing good for Latinas?
I don't know. I didn't see the rest of them. I didn't see the rest of them yet. I have to go to the Jack of Hearts strip club. I got to go to South Beach. And I got to see the cholos down in the South Beach area, down where the.
I think the body styles that we saw in the trailer, I think they're spot on. I mean, Lucia looks like a nice, thick,
like a Latina.
Yeah, she looks like a nice, thick little woman there, right? I'm down with that. Krebsy Gaming says, "Are you surprised that EA is saying that they won't increase game prices like Xbox and Nintendo?" In the article, it said yet. I actually said this. Yeah, I said this when Xbox raised their price, or when Nintendo came out, raised it $80. I said I can't imagine that EA would charge, because I don't think people would pay for it right now. But they'll wait to see what it is, because remember, they're tricking people right now. They're bundling the college football and Madden Football together so they can get more money off of the thing, because I don't think they can sell Madden for 80. A small amount of people will buy it 80, but the majority of people are not buying it $80.
Their numbers didn't come out. Their numbers weren't spectacular.
Battlefield will charge $80. 100%.
And that's another reason why I would never buy day one.
Yeah, Battlefield will charge 100% $80.
Yeah,
and if it comes out this year,
EA's quarter numbers weren't that great, so they're scared to release prices because it'll affect their bottom line even more. So that they're probably going to wait this out a little bit to see what's going on.
Let's see. Because he says, do you find it funny that EA said when we get it right, Battlefield is a giant franchise and often the biggest shooter in the year? Yeah, because it's never been the biggest shooter in the year as a blatant lie. It's never, ever been the biggest shooter of the year. The closest it came, and it was still about 16 million off.
Was it Battlefield 3? Or was it?
It was Battlefield. I think it was 3. Was it 17 million, 14 million, or 17 million? I think it was 17 million, and then the 4 was at 14 million. Which at that year though, Call of Duty was at like 33 million. So
Call of Duty always beats them. Yeah,
Call of Duty always beats it. And look, it's not coming out complete. They're going to release it, I think, this year, and it's going to be incomplete.
They said the game was supposed to come out next year, spring, and then when GTA moved, they said it's coming out this year.
They said it plausible coming out this year. No, it's not going to be ready.
Yeah.
Cubbies also says, will you never go back, but as cool things would you like to see Destiny do in the winter with the expansion inspired by Star Wars? I don't give a shit. Honestly, I don't care anything about Destiny.
Which cool things would you like to see Destiny do this winter with the expansion inspired by Star Wars? I would like to see Destiny end as a game and make a Star Wars game in the Destiny format. That would be the better game.
Which I said 10 years ago. That would Marvel, be a better, Transformers, Star Wars, Destiny.
Stop Destiny. Make a Star Wars game in the Destiny format, and everyone will be fine.
Yep. Altered says, how long until John Walker has another game? You know what? Skip this question.
John Walker's fucking hilarious, dude. That dude is going to become a meme in this chat forever now.
I saw a couple other content creators talking about the article about him. So
he is going to go down. He's going to be like the Leroy Jenkins of fucking articles, bro.
Leroy Jenkins. I don't like playing boss fights, so I'm going to play games with boss fights in them.
Yeah. Anytime you don't feel like doing something, you're going to say, I'm just going to John Walker it.
I'm going to Walker it. Yeah, I'm going to Walker it.
That's it.
Krebsy says, do you find it funny that the Red War content might be put back into Destiny since they lost their appeal on the lawsuit and need a way to prove they didn't copy without third party? Yeah, I do find this funny because the appeal got rejected.
It's glorious.
Yeah.
So happy.
Look, they know they stole it. Hence why they got rid of the evidence. They got rid of the evidence.
Yes, they did. That's exactly what
they didn't get rid of the evidence, then I would have been like, yeah, no, they didn't steal it. But they got rid of it and wiped it clean. Nobody can play the Red War. Why is that? It's just so strange that Destiny who deletes their game like that? It's still alive. Like, the game is alive. It didn't go bankrupt and be like, oh, sorry, guys, we just don't own it anymore. Like, they deleted a section of the game. Just so happens, coincidentally, it falls in the line of stealing the actual story from somebody else. They got caught red-handed, red-warded, right? And now they have to maybe put it back in so they can prove that they didn't steal it. Well, sorry. Proof is there. It's on YouTube. You can look it up. You stole it, you bastards. Pay the man his money and move on with your life.
Yeah, exactly. Pay the man and move on. That's why I don't care for Bungie anymore, dude. I just don't give a shit. It's just one. Bungie is like that drama queen girlfriend, bro. Wherever she goes, fucking shit's followed behind her. Like, there's no reason to be involved in all that drama at all. Like, just walk away, dude. Just walk away.
Let's see. The next one, Krebsy says, how's the heart after seeing another Transformers game canceled, especially since I'm dead inside? I'm dead inside. I talked about the other day. I'm just like...
Four games now. 4 games they destroyed for us.
Well, no, they released 2 games. That was a fucking kart racer and whatever else.
Not that one. That other one, that XCOM
Transformers Reactivate.
The Reactivate's canceled. The one that looks like an XCOM game, I couldn't finish it because the game was broken.
Well, that was broke. It was out though. They released it.
Yeah, but
right? We haven't had a good Transformer game since 2015. 10 years. Yeah. Right? Like, I don't know what Hasbro's doing.
Well, it's easy. They're failing as a company, and they're not going to be around much longer. Listen, D&D's been around for 40 years. Hasbro had it in their possession for 4, and they're dying. Like, imagine having an IP that's existed for over 40 years that everyone loved, and a company purchases it, and they destroy it in less than 3 years. Tell me what kind of company you are that you can't hold on to an IP that's been alive longer than you have.
Yeah. I just don't understand. I've talked about this so many times.
Hasbro is trash.
Transformers.
There's people talking on the internet right now that's saying in less than 10 years there'll be no toy stores at all, like no toy companies. Transformers,
I've said this before on this show and my morning show, is the perfect toy for boys.
Yeah,
ever created. Okay, cars, dinosaurs, robots, planes, spaceships,
everything.
Right, construction vehicles, everything. Insects. Right, it covers everything. And they're like, I don't know who to sell it to. Who's our market? I don't know. Anybody with a penis. Anybody with a penis and a little boy, right?
Girls or boys now.
Right. That's exactly right. Right.
It could be girls and boys now. So you get the whole market covered.
Like it's mind-boggling to me. Hasbro's lost completely. They're like, I don't know who likes Transformers. It's ridiculous. El Nini says, is it time for Kevin Feige to pack it up?
Almost.
Well,
almost.
I love how just recently he came out, El Nini. Okay. He came out just recently and said that Thunderbolts is the best thing that we've ever released, whatever. Completely not even talking about the last movie that just came out like 2 months before, which is Captain America: Brave New World. He's like, yeah, this is the good thing that we're looking forward to. And the marketing that's behind it right now is so mind-boggling because Thunderbolts is the movie. By the end of the movie, they're called the New Avengers. So then they had the cast come out and they've changed all the posters and the advertisements to asterisk New Avengers. But when you search for New Avengers, there is no movie because it's called the Thunderbolts. So
yeah, that's called
very fucking strange and what the marketing campaign they're doing on this.
Yeah, that's a kindergartner who got put in charge of marketing and has no idea what he's doing because he didn't get nap time. And so now you're destroying your own movie. The best movie that you made in a few years is being destroyed from within because you guys can't get it together.
It's just weird to me how you would do why you would do that, right? Where you're marketing a movie, Thunderbolts. Go watch this. It's the #1 movie in the theater, right? Which it was, but it's also nothing else is out, and it made less than Shang-Chi did during COVID. So, you know, right? Shang-Chi
I don't want to say
made more money domestically during COVID than Thunderbolts made an opening weekend 4 years after COVID. But they're like, that's the #1 movie in the box office. Congratulations. You couldn't even beat Shang-Chi from 4 years ago during a pandemic. But it's the #1 movie at the box office. Congratulations. You've played yourself. It's so ridiculous. And then they changed the name after the first weekend to the New Avengers. So you're driving around in Hollywood, or you're like, hey, what's that movie? Oh, New Avengers. I'm going to go watch that. New Avengers.
No movie.
Yeah, nothing pops up. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. And right? you know the normies, if it doesn't come up right away, they're on to doing something else.
Right,
if they don't get instant gratification of the thing that they're looking for, no one's typing in another thing to see where the movie is. It's like, oh, didn't come up. Squirrel. Gotta go over here now. Like they're not looking up shit after that.
Well, a lot of people that saw the movie House, they liked the movie. But obviously, opening weekend, they only made $74 million, right? With those movies that they spend $300 million, $400 million on before marketing, they got to make $150 million just to make on pace to make their money back. They made $74 million, right? They ain't making their money back. If it does, it might just go a little bit past what Brave New World did, which is like, I think, a $415 million or a $454 million, whatever it is, which is still $200 million short of what it was supposed to make. I don't know. If that's successful, let me tell you something. I could tell you all day long my channel is super successful, right? It is for my size. But if you compare me to like an Asmongold, I'm a fucking ant on an ant's asshole, right? Like nobody knows who I am. I'm so small and tiny. To put the production and say, oh well, Thunderbolts is successful. We made $74 million.
Right.
You couldn't even beat a movie that came out during a pandemic. No one was going to the theater then. People could go to the theater and choose to go to the theater, and they choose not to. They choose not to go to the theater. Fantastic Four is going to be very interesting to see what happens during Fantastic Four.
Oh no, it's not going to be. It's not going to be interesting at all.
Amazing.
Listen, I have a lot of stock in movie theaters. I want them to do well.
I have stock. I just
theaters. Want them to make a decent movie.
I love theaters. I don't ever want theaters to go away.
However, the lineup of movies coming out for the summer and for the rest of the year,
there's a lot of movies I want to go to the theater and watch.
We're going to be looking good at the end of this year, bro. AMC's going to be looking good.
Look, I want to see Superman in theaters, but I'm going to hold off now because of the leak I heard. I don't want to ruin it for anybody, okay? If it's true, then I'm not going. If it's not true, then I'll go watch it. Okay.
That's hilarious. I love.
I'm not going to watch Fantastic Four. I'm not watching Fantastic Four. I know what it is. It's the next best Marvel movie since the last best Marvel movie. Okay.
I hear the Jetsons song when I see it.
I want to watch Mission Impossible. Okay. There's another big movie coming out that I'm also debating to go see Naked Gun in theaters. Right. I don't think it's going to be that good, but it makes me, kind of want to go. I'm going to go see Avatar at the end of the year. Right. There's a bunch of movies I want to go see, which I have to say, I haven't felt this way in the last couple of years just because there's not been very, very good movies.
There's a lot of movies coming out though, bro. Look at the lineup. There's a lot of stuff coming out.
So
even if they pull in mid-range numbers, it's going to be a good year. We got a lot of stuff coming out.
Travis, I understand if someone says it's true, but the only way you're going to know it's true is when it launches on day one, someone watches it and says, yeah, it's true. And when they say that, I don't see the movie. That's how it works.
It's gonna be an interesting year.
Krebsy, I still haven't done research on it. I don't understand about the movies, about the percentage of a movie, because look, movies get shot in all different locations. It's been like that since the beginning of time, right? I worked in a movie one time where we shot a little bit in Florida, then we shot in Georgia, then we shot in Texas, then we shot in Canada, right? We're all over the place. So to say it's 100% tariff on a movie, it's got to be like what percentage?
The whole thing's got to be shot outside the country,
right?
That's what you're saying.
So I don't know the whole.
It's still up in the air. You don't believe what that's saying just yet. I understand. I understand what they're trying to do, but I don't think you can do 100% on everything. If people are doing partials outside the country, it's not going to work that way.
Yeah, and plus, is it principal photography? Is it the editing? Like, is it a majority of the stuff has to be inside the state?
Is it shots, like transportation shots that you took? Right, like
right.
You're filming in Vancouver, but I took the shot of Japan somewhere, and so
right. I can send a team. I can send a producer, a camera operator to the location, get those B-roll shots, or pay someone else in that location to get B-roll shots, and then they send me the footage. So technically, my production company never actually left to go take country. That. Right, never left the country. So there's so many things that I just don't. I don't know. I don't know the ordeal yet. I would have to hear what the rules are, but I'll tell you this. As a person that worked in the film industry for so many years, and my state governor destroyed our film community here in Florida, Rick Scott, who's now a senator or whatever, right? He ran it out the door, right? At one point, there was 22 feature films here, right? For like 3 years, man. I was constantly working, loved it, okay? And then he didn't want to give incentives anymore, so they went to Georgia. And then Georgia got all the incentives. And then when Georgia was done, they went to New Mexico. And when New Mexico was done, they went to Vancouver. And when Vancouver was done, they went over to right now, UK is giving the incentives, right? There's a lot of jobs that I'd missed out on because they didn't want to film here because they're not getting incentives. Okay, so you have to give the incentives to these people. It brings in so much money to the communities. So much money with the crews and everything else. Local businesses make a shit ton of money for catering food and all this other stuff, right? Plus, it's not just bringing films back here to the States that film here. Netflix is also destroying the way stuff is being filmed because they turn it around so fast. And instead of having 6 months on a feature film, you're turning around in 6 weeks because they want to keep the budget as low as possible, spin it around and then throw it up on Netflix, right? They have to get subscribers. They're not putting it in theaters. They're not doing that stuff. So they got to keep their budgets low. It destroys the entire economy with inside, or the integrity of the film industry, because people are lowballing people. They're not getting paid as much as people. The rules count differently for film and television. It's all over the place. So the 100% tariff, that's the least of our worries right now for the film industry. But if it goes through, Disney's fucked.
Disney's
fucked if it goes through.
Yeah.
So, all right. That'll do it for Grand Theft Auto. Jesus. Yeah, that'll do it for Grand Theft Auto. Right. That'll do it for Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories of the past week, and we rant along the way. We're here live Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. You can also listen to us or watch us over on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm, anywhere else a podcast is listened to. You can also watch the past broadcast right here over on YouTube.com/30NSG. If you're watching over on Twitch, I appreciate you very much. We do gameplay over on Twitch on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. So you can watch all the gaming that we do over on 30 and Still Gaming, which you're watching right now. If you'd like to follow the channel, hit that follow button down below. Appreciate you guys very much, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Game on, guys.
Retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips.